never cared about us. They really never cared about us. They only want what they can take, don't care what's in their way. Prophesized our progeny's downfall. I've seen it written for it, hit us all. Keep falling on a sword in a rich man's war. What are our sons really fighting and dying for? Seen a cycle repeat, we just play a role. Different faces, same script, take the same toll. Don't care who fall, long as they pockets still grow. That's when I had to stop and ask what I really know. Don't believe your story, you better pick up a book. Tell lies to vision about the souls being took. They sell you a dream and then they tax your soul. Give you enough to get hooked, not enough to be whole. It's on us to be for us, nobody else. They really never cared about us. We're born into a system that's built to divide. Different shades, different lines, now we choosing sides. Out here arguing loud while they move in silence. Turn struggle into profit, turn pain into violence. Every headline is stripped, every story a play. Keep the focus on the surface, never show us the way. Keep us chasing distractions, we stay stuck in debate. While they write another chapter, deciding our fate. Teach the youth what to chase, but never to build. Give them dreams with no tools, now that dream's unfilled. Turn survival to a cycle, now they can't escape. Give them just enough hope so they stay in their places. On us to be for us, nobody else. What's in their way? Never, 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 never care about us. No, no, never, never, no, never care about us. It's on us to be for us. Nobody else.
Salute, salute. Welcome back to Blizzard Abroad. How y'all doing out there, man? I hope y'all doing good. I see some people in the building early. PH Expat Prepper, salute, brother. I love LaShawn, salute. And Russ is in the building early, man. So if y'all in the bushes, hop out and say what's up, man. I'm going to get right into it tonight. I'm not going to talk that long. But I do want to say something. You know, we're not scared to talk about politics over here. Blizzard Abroad. It seems like it comes up in every other conversation. You know, we could be talking about traveling, politics come up. We could be talking about money, work, whatever, relationships. Politics comes up, right? So what's the two things that we hear on social media, right, that you should not talk about? Politics and religion. And I don't believe that, because we've done it here and we've done it with, you know, without screaming at each other, without getting mad at each other. Yeah, we can disagree, but we've been able to do it here so far. So hopefully that trend continues, you know, because if politics and religion are the most influential things throughout history, you know, the most important things throughout history, I believe. Why shouldn't we regular people be able to talk about it? Like, it never made sense to me. The two most important things, basically, that has influence over people in the world, they don't want us to talk about it. No, no. We can do it here. And I don't think the problem is talking. I don't think the problem is politics or religion. The problem is that we forgot how to talk to each other. We forgot how to listen to each other. So that's what I want to do, and that's what I want my platform to be. Right? I get criticized all the time, like, Blizz, you don't push back, and you should have said this and that. But no, I'm a listener. Like, I am a listener, and I'm willing to hear you out. As long as you're not being extremely disrespectful, I'm gonna let you talk. Right? But the topic today, right, is politics overall. But I want to talk about, like, have the Democrats and Republicans become a cult, right? I don't know. You guys let me know in the chat, right? Have the Democrat and Republican parties become cults? And before you guys get offended, I know it's not everybody. I'm not talking about everybody. I'm talking about the system overall, right? Well, DIY says, well, they do say a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Salute. Thank y'all, man. It's incredible how sensitive people are about politics. Yeah, you get told, don't talk about. I've had people come into my stream and tell me not to talk about politics. Like, what? I could talk about whatever I want to talk about, whether you agree or not. Two, we need to be having these conversations. Us, not being talked at and talked at all the times, but actually having the conversations between us so we can understand each other better. So yeah, it's incredible how sensitive people are about politics now. It's crazy, man. Salute. I don't want to ruin that name right there, but salute and welcome. Welcome. Quiet on the vertical side. Yeah. It's always quiet over there. I love LaShawn says, I remember seeing a guy on TV who was sucker punched by a woman because he was wearing a red hat. Not a MAGA hat, but a sports team. Yes. I remember seeing that too. Kamal, salute, brother. Salute. PH expat purposes. The U.S. needs more than two-party control. That just fight for themselves and really have no respect for the people they actually represent. I believe that. I'm an independent, and when I say that, I don't mean today's version of an independent where you just say it out loud, but then you just fight tooth and nail for one side or the other. Like, I'm a true independent. I vote how I want to vote. I vote with my interests, my family, my situation. I vote my best interest. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on one second, man. All right, my bad, guys. Grandpa duty, my grandson not feeling that good. Y'all still here? Y'all still in the building? Cisco is in the building. Salute, brother. All right, I'm gonna try to get to these comments, get to my little commentary, and then and then we'll open the panel up early tonight. Russ says, I had someone in my house try to tell me what to talk about. Yeah, you can't. Yeah. That's the part I don't understand, man. It's like these are difficult conversations, right? But they're necessary. Whether we agree, whether we disagree, I don't think anybody's ever going to see eye to eye with everybody else. We all have different backgrounds. Even if we're all American, we still all have different cultures. There's a lot of different cultures. There's a lot of different ways of upbringing in America. We're going to see things differently, right? That doesn't mean we have to be enemies, right? Cisco says, what up? Being independent makes me feel like I'm not just a blind follower, in my opinion. Yeah, like I said, I could swing either way. I'll be honest, most of the time, I lean to the left. I lean to the left more than the right. But I voted both ways. And I know some people that say they're independent and they just vote Democrat every fucking time. Like to the point where they don't even research the candidates or nothing. They just know they're gonna vote Democrat. And I know there's people on the right the same way. That's why I say, is this a cult? It's because people are digging their heels in more and more. And I think the politicians are comfortable with that. They're comfortable with us going at each other's necks all the time, not being willing to listen to the other side, because there's safety in that. They're safe. Like, you think my representative does not need to campaign. She does not need to campaign because she's in a strong Democratic district. So if she doesn't get primaried, she's gonna win. There's no doubt about it. Because we have people that's gonna vote for her no matter what she does, no matter what she delivers. These people are going to vote for her. Even if they're not getting anything, even if their life is not improving, they're still going to vote for her because she's a Democrat. And I'm pretty sure in red districts, you have the same thing going on. You have these people that just basically run unopposed, even if they have a candidate from the other side running against them. Sometimes it's like they're winning with 80% of the vote. They don't have to deliver anything. All they have to do is get on that ballot as a Democratic nominee, and they're going to win. They're going to win. And that's mind-boggling. That's blind loyalty. I'm not saying it's a cult. I'm asking, is it a cult? And if you say anything against them, they'll attack you, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, salute. Triz, what up, bro? I see you, brother. Thank you, man. Let me highlight. Where's that comment at, man? Salute Triz with the 499. He says, for the political slush fund, man. I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Let me give you the TJ super chat. Nobody's deserving of the Deacon Clap Cheeks yet. So we ain't gonna go there. Maybe one day. I don't know who's gonna ever be deserving of that one, but yeah, salute Super Trash being in the building, my brother. Salute to all the independent-minded people out there, man. Salute to y'all, man. Salute to everybody, man. Democrat, Republican, whatever you are, man. Independent, salute to y'all, man. Just be accountable. Just be accountable. Let me see, man. Guitar, he says, hi from Brazil to the USA. Salute, salute. I got a co-worker from Brazil, man. He keep trying to get me to go down there. But I told him I'll go when he go back home so he can show me around. Never been that interested in traveling down there, but salute to you, man. Welcome. PHS by purposes. U.S. is at war, yet it is so. It's just so strange how politics and things just keep on moving along. Yep. TJ is in the building, my brother. How are you, man? Not having the best handful of weeks. Case in point, seeing you online means I really need to go to sleep. All right, man. Oh, I've heard that. I've heard that I put people to sleep anyway. So hopefully I can help. Russ says, I never voted until Obama ran. After he was done, I became independent. Eileen left also. Yeah. I can't connect with either part. I can't. I've never understood the loyalty to a political party. I've never understood it. To me, it makes absolutely no sense. Although as an independent, it seems that like we do get left out because we don't have a voice in the primary. We don't have a vote in the primary. And people have told me like, well, you should just register as a Democrat or a Republican just to vote in the primary. And I'm like, nah, I can't do it. Imagine if I was in the US, I would be voting from the rooftops. Salute, Juice. Welcome. So I hope y'all ready, man. Y'all wanted this. Y'all wanted a straight up live stream about politics. I'm delivering it. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna just go through these chats for a little while, and then I'm gonna open up the panel. So hopefully y'all ready. Just have some decorum. No yelling, screaming. I mean, whatever. We men, men and women, we could disagree. We could get a little testy. That's fine. But just keep it cordial, please. No personal insults. Keep your commentary concise, please. No 5 minutes in a row, just talking. Let other people talk. You know, just say your piece, make your point, and let the other person talk. That's all I ask. He says those ladies will chew you up. Listen, I don't know. I'm good anyway. So TJ says, haha, I better be it'd be better than nothing. My sleep patterns are hot garbage when I'm stressed out. 9:15 a.m. is not a smart time to call it a night. That's regular sleep for regular people. That's a regular sleep time, man, for old men. 9:15. I've been getting better at sleep. I know y'all was on me before. I've been getting better and better, slowly getting back to a normal sleep pattern. So I appreciate everybody that was on me about that, but I was gonna do it anyway. Hope you enjoyed the game. I can't vote in Republican primaries in California as an independent, but I can vote in the Democrat primary. Strangely, oh wow, yeah, because we'll get into it. We'll get into it. Yeah, we'll get into that. That's weird, right? I'm thinking of those Brazilian babes. Not that you mind. Yeah, man. Brazilian women are beautiful, but that don't mean I want to go to Brazil. There's no such thing as regular sleep for me. I cannot sleep or I pass out drunk. Shit. No in between, huh? Yeah, but I'll tell y'all the truth, man. I don't trust either party. I think you guys know that by now if you listen to me talk, if you listen to, me talk about politics before. I do not trust either side. They're not the same. I know they're not the same, but they're kind of the same, man. And the term always comes up, or the phrase or whatever always comes up. Same bird, different wings, or it's something along those lines. But I truly believe that. I truly believe that corporations and big money is running America right now. It's running our political systems. And there's two competing sides. One side supports the Republicans and the other side supports the Democrats. There should be no big money in politics. but there is, and that's the system we have. How do we get from under that? I don't know. I think we're too far gone. I think we're too far gone. It's 9:15 a.m. Oh, a.m. Shit. Yeah. Damn. That's you on my old schedule, brother. That's that night, that vampire shit. The state of the US is such a mess, regardless of any party. Yep. I'll start off being controversial and say, I just can't respect the guy in office now. I get it, man. I get it. And that's the thing. That's the thing. I don't like him either. I can't stand him. I think Trump is a horrible president. I'll say that. I think he is. Some people love him. Some people love him. I don't care about his personality and all that shit. You know. The thing about it is how is life? How's life? For me, prices are up, but we've seen prices up before. We've been through it before. We've been through a great recession, Great Depression. You know, Trump. How did he get there? That's the thing. See, you guys want to take out Trump. Not take out. I don't want to say. I don't know. Hold on. Let me be careful there. It's like without Trump, how he got there still exists. It's not Trump. Like, what is the system behind him that got him there? You know, the government, two wings of the same bird. They just take turns playing good cop, bad cop. I believe that. I absolutely believe that. I've said that before. It's like if there was a Democrat in office doing the exact same things that Trump is doing, the Democrats would be supporting him, defending him, and the Republicans would be going crazy. That's how I see politics. It's the truth for me. It's a California thing. Don't know why. Yes, the Brazilian ladies. Mito Benito, Mark Freeman, MK. 2 words, lockdown. Hey, let it roll, man. Let the lockdowns roll, man. Like I said, I've traveled out of the country 3 times within the last year, and I got 2 more coming up this year. So we'll see. We'll see. But I'm glad you're out of America. So salute to you. I'm sorry, I followed back on occasion, but I became a back sleeper when I started dating someone who moves around a bunch over the course of the night. Oh man. Slide sleep is the best. He says, y'all ain't never getting out of America. Hey guys, y'all, let me get y'all opinion on this comment. Y'all ain't never getting out of America. We're gonna be on lockdowns. It's amazing to me. That's the best candidates that are fronted to the people have never really been good. Not sure who would say what's a good president. Me either, man. Me either. All right. I'm gonna drop the link, man. If y'all want to come up. Let's see. All I ask is that if you come up tonight, have something to share, have something to contribute to the conversation. You know, say your piece. If you want to stay up, please just stay engaged. And if not, then you could drop down. So hopefully we could get some more people up, some different people, man. I like to see some different people come up. Mark Freeman. Mark, MK, you talking junk, man? Talking junk, man. Why are you here, bro? I know you don't like the channel, so why do you come here? That's like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, man. But like I said, you're welcome to come here, man. But I just don't understand it. Used to be my homie, used to be my ace. Not really. But I think you just be having some wild takes, brother. I don't agree with. It doesn't mean I don't like you. I just don't agree with your takes and the things you say because they're extreme. You're an extremist. I don't like extremists. You know what I'm saying? I think you say wild things just to get attention or something. I think the left really needs to do some internal reflections to understand why this guy could beat them. Yes. Yes. Exactly. And I agree with that. The left needs to do some internal reflection instead of pointing fingers, blaming everybody, blaming blocks of voters, blaming this person or that person. Why? What was wrong? Why did y'all have to run two horrible candidates? One had to drop out, and the other one, just nobody liked her, bro. Nobody liked her. Nobody voted for her to be in there. She didn't have a primary. Like, why? That's what I want to hear. Not, oh, this group of people didn't vote. Well, I know in my community, how it is in my community, it's a lot of blame. It's a lot of blame. It was black men didn't like Kamala Harris, even though 70 something percent voted for her. You know, um, I didn't like her at all. I feel like she got forced on the people. I don't feel like she could come up with a coherent argument. Would she have been better than Trump? I don't know. Probably. But the Democrats need to figure something out, or they're going to lose again. And it can't be blaming the voters. Like, how are you blaming the voters? The words on puppet strings. I agree. Salute, Adam. Welcome, man. The angry voters rallied around Trump after 8 years of Obama based on talking to people I knew when I was working in Texas. Yeah. Yeah, the Tea Party turned into MAGA. Basically, MAGA is the Tea Party on steroids. The Tea Party was all about just denying President Obama any sort of win, any semblance of a win. And then they morphed in, like I said, they morphed into. I remember a time like, and this was I remember a time when, and we used to talk shit about it, right? We used to talk so much shit about the politicians coming out in front of the camera, acting like they don't like each other, and then going to eat lunch together and being friends behind the scenes. I kind of miss those days, man. I kind of miss those days because at least back then, it was performative. Like, yeah, they were friends. They knew each other. Kids probably went to school together and played with each other. But they could work together behind the scenes. Now it's like our politicians really hate each other. I think they really hate. There's no more, hey, let me go give this speech and act like I disagree with everything you said, but then we'll go eat lunch together and chop it up and make a deal. None of that. None of that is going on anymore. We need a supercut of Mark Freeman, absolute top 10 worst takes. I'm sure there's some dingers. Oh, man. Yeah, you are. Yeah. Politicians are full of empty promises. Absolutely. They are. They always have been. Mark Freeman left 12 years ago. Best thing I ever did. Yeah, nobody's saying not to. That's the thing I don't understand. Nobody's saying not to leave, bro. Nobody's saying not to leave. Nobody's saying I don't want to leave. I do want to leave. But I'm not going to drop all my responsibilities and just hit the first thing smoking out of here and leave my family hanging out to dry. Leave my grandkids hanging out to dry. Nah, that's not the type of man I am. And if I was that type of man, I wouldn't even respect myself. So no, I don't advocate for other men to do that. Take care of your responsibility. Leave the right way. Salute, T Marsh. Salute, salute. How you doing, man? That's about living overseas. So true. Left 3 years ago. Best thing I ever did. I just said a prayer for you. You don't even know where that dude is from, man. You talking shit about him. Oh man. Deacon clap cheeks in here, man. T Mar saying what up, juice. Biden was way too old and I just wasn't feeling Kamala. Yeah, me either. Me either. But like I said, man, there's a lot of people. It wouldn't have mattered who they put there just because they were blue. They probably would have got the same amount of votes as Kamala got. And Kamala probably got the same amount of votes that Joe Biden was going to get. It to some people, it really doesn't matter. They're married to a party. It's a cult. They're married to that party. Whether you deliver for them or not. Whether you deliver on your campaign promises or not. Like I was watching Roland Martin the other day. I don't watch him that much, but there's been this movement going on. People are outright asking for tangibles from their politicians. Like outright. Roland Martin is a Democratic, I don't know what he is. He used to be on CNN. Used to be on CNN or MSNBC. And he goes for Democrats hard. I think his job for the Democrats is to drive voters in, to turn voters out for the Democratic Party. He's also an attack dog. So I don't know if any of y'all rock with Roland Martin. He's an attack dog, man. And D.L. Hughley is becoming the same way. They're attack dogs, man. So if anybody from a certain community, like my community, if any of us speak out and say something that they disagree with or anything against the Democratic Party, they attack them. Like, and it ain't pretty either. They're yelling, cursing, calling people stupid. I think Stephen A. Smith the other day. Now, I don't agree with Stephen A. Smith either, but I believe he has the right to say whatever he wants to say. He has freedom of speech, just like anybody else. So he said that for once he wished that, black people would vote Republican just so Democrats could see that they actually have to work for our vote. Oh my God, Roland Martin. This fool, like it's crazy how like you can't even disagree with these people without them attacking you. And that's politics in America, even amongst us regular everyday working people. If you disagree with me, then we can't be friends, right? We can't talk. You're evil because my side is always right. My side is always, has no flaws. So if you're in the other party, you're wrong, man. That's politics in America nowadays. It's like sports. Especially during this last election, it was like a sport. I actually watched Americans turn out and support candidates like it was a fucking sporting event. And their team was going to the Super Bowl or something. It's more than that. It's more than that. The stakes are way higher. Trump won the first time since Hillary scared the piss out of any sane person. Yes. Yes. Super predator, Hillary. And Trump is they're all rapists or something. If you don't leave America, you will suffer the wrath of God. She ran on the non-white female platform and thought that was good enough to get elected. Yeah. The Dems are weak as hell. If I was a senator, I would be talking mad shit right now. Yeah, that's the thing, though. And that's the thing, T. Marsh. We're upset. They're not upset. They living their comfortable lives, bro. They went from 100,000 years to millionaires. You know, insider trading, you know, no term limits, comfortable districts, like Democratic. We're not, the Democratic electorate is not asking much from their elected officials, I don't think. People still putting faith in corrupt politicians. Yeah. I remember a time when people didn't think that much about politics. Yeah, now it's pushed into our face. Now they got whole news channels that's all they do all day long is talk about politics 24/7. Let me ask you a question, Mark. If you so happy, why are you looking at us all the time, bro? That's the cope, bro. You happy you living in paradise, but you can't keep your eyes from over here, man. You hate America so much. Why do you keep looking back? Why do you keep paying attention to something that does not bring you joy? I was just talking about this the other day. Your attention should be where your happiness is at. Why do you keep looking back here, man? I don't get it. Focus on the good thing that you got going on in your life. Can you do that? Can you focus on what's going right in your life? Or are you really just a troll, bro, that just come to disrupt the conversation that we have here? I don't know, man. Because these people like you, and I'm not trying to diss you or nothing, man. You can't see your surroundings because you're too busy looking back here. I want you to walk around the Philippines one day and imagine you being an everyday regular Filipino. You having to work the way they have to work. Because I've been there, bro. I've been to the Philippines, man. The only thing you got working in your favor is an American dollar. If you didn't have that, if you had to live like an everyday Filipino, your ass wouldn't be nowhere near the Philippines. Because most of us can't work like they could work. Your back ain't built to work like those men over there work. You couldn't handle it. You know how I know? Because you couldn't handle the most comfortable country for you. America. That's the most comfortable country for you. As a regular, everyday citizen. You felt the need to go to the Philippines and flex, man. And flex. So I just had to say that, man, because you always coming over here, bro. Like trying to drop little things, man. But we know, like we know, bro. We've some of us have been to the Philippines, man. Can you stop for a second, get outside of yourself and just look around? Look at how the everyday man lives. So yeah, you are blessed to be there, but enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. Stop looking back here. Enjoy where you're at, man. So excuse me. Let me get back to these other comments in here, man. Now, me, I believe the whole world is a mess. So I moved out to a small town in a small country to hide, basically. Yeah. If you're not, you don't gotta leave the chat. You don't gotta leave the chat. You good. If you want to stay here, you can stay here. I don't got a problem with him. He was still the guy who pushed for the conviction of the Central Park Five for the first time, and he had the same terrible policies the first time. I agree. Yes, he. But the crazy thing about that is, like, who was he at that time, bro? He wasn't a politician, man. He was famous and he was influential, but he wasn't a politician. He couldn't make nobody do shit. That whole situation was fucked up. But they were gonna they were gonna prosecute them regardless. And I'm not defending him on this. He was wrong. He could have came out and said sorry after he figured out he was wrong, but there was a lot of people pushing for that. Cisco is home. Hillary is scarier too. Yeah, yeah. I think anybody that wants that much power is something wrong with them. Because I'll be honest, I wouldn't want that much power. Though. I heard that before. I heard somebody say that before. Anybody that wants to be president and wants that much power is most likely a narcissist. I don't know if y'all agree with that or not, but some are better at articulating themselves. Some are better at hiding that shit. But I think they all are narcissists. You gotta be. You gotta be to get that high, to want that much power. I remember when I was younger, they had the same mentality that I have now. Politicians are too damn corrupt nowadays. And then like they just getting away with them, man. Yeah. Y'all saying what up to? Remember, I remember Roland from CNN. Yeah, man. Roland, he a trip, man. He tried to give and like I said, it's the same thing happens on both sides though. So don't think I'm just going for one side. You know what I mean? Don't think I'm just going that one side, but I just know because this is the community I live in. I'm not a politician. I'm not a political scientist. I'm just an everyday man. I just talk about shit that I see, shit that I experience. So there's gonna be things that I notice because it's happening around me. It's happening in my community. Um, and Roland Martin attacks people in my community when they don't lean a certain way, when they go against the grain or where they're supposed to be going. I'm tired of hearing that Biden come out of shit at this point. Obviously, there could have been better candidates, but we live in a two-party system. But yeah, Trump was horrible. Trump was horrible, man. They all were horrible, man. They all were horrible. So what do we have to do? We had to choose the lesser of two evils, and some people chose to vote for Trump. But the lesser of two evils is still evil. The lesser of two evils is still evil. So vote for the party that's literally trying. Hey, I dropped the link, man. But this is the problem. I'm not saying you're a problem. You can't tell nobody how to vote, man. All you can do is speak to people, give your opinion, and hopefully persuade somebody to vote, to agree with you and to see the light. That is not what's happening nowadays. We're shaming people because they don't vote the way we vote. We're attacking people because they don't vote the way we vote. We're ostracizing people because they don't agree. And that's the thing, bro. People get to vote however they want to vote. I can't control that. You can't control that. We can have these conversations. But what else can you do? You can't drag somebody to the polls and make them vote the way you want them to vote. And talking shit about them is not going to bring them over to your side. Calling them stupid is not going to convince somebody that your argument is right. You know what I'm saying? We got to be able to have these conversations without attacking each other, without shaming each other. Some people you're just never going to bring over to your side. They're never going to see the world the way you see the world. That's a lot like culture. People just see things through different lenses because they have a different culture, a different upbringing. Even if we're all still Americans, you know. And I think what Stephen A said was, I don't agree with it. Because I know that was the point. I know I said something totally different, but I think he was talking to the black community, but the Democratic Party has always had the black vote. They've always felt like they've controlled the black vote. And I just think he was saying, like, shit, for once, I wish I got what he was saying, even if I don't want to see it actually happen. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see it actually happen, but I get the point he was trying to make. And that's what's getting lost also. Is that sometimes people say things just to make a point and they don't really mean it. But you know, when we get into this social media and the way media works nowadays, they're not trying to see the nuance he was trying to convey. They're gonna take what he said, just like they do that we were talking about. They do to Calvin. They're not trying to understand what he meant, you know, what he actually said. They're gonna spin it and they're gonna use it as a battering ram. So I kind of got what he was trying to convey. And he was trying to send a message from the black community to Democrats. Like, y'all got to do better. Y'all got to bring better candidates. Y'all got to actually deliver because y'all have this vote. And if y'all don't do something with it, y'all going to lose it. Now that X is going full bore with the translation matrix. I'm getting replies from ladies I suspect are of the night. What? Oh, in Japan. Let me catch up. I think the Dems have a much tougher task each election. They have to cobble together all these groups. The people on the right stick together. Yeah, yeah, because it's the big tent. I think it's the big tent effect. You know, you're trying to cater to so many different. um Oh, I see you down there. It's way down there. You way down there. Wow, I'm way behind. I gotta catch up. Salute to Icy. J Moon, I see you. I'm sorry, I'm gonna catch up. I got time tonight. I'm gonna catch up. Wow. what was I saying? They're trying to bring together this big, very, very diverse coalition of people who even amongst themselves do not agree on everything, right? But what is the priority? And I think once the Democrats figure that out, they'll be all right. Um, what do we prioritize? Like, look, we can't give everything, every one of you, everything you want. But these are our top three issues. And these top three issues are so good that you're going to benefit from if I win. I don't know what that is. Like I said, Democrats got to come up with that. But I hope you guys get what I'm saying. It's like you can't say everything is important, because if everything is important, then nothing's important. You know what I mean? Nothing stands out. So there has to be something that we God, I gotta stop reading the chat over there. I see something. Oh man. You can't say everything is important and then actually deliver. You know, you're not gonna get the chance. We know that. We know that most of what these people are promising us, they're not gonna deliver. That's just politics, man. But we still believe them every time they come out and say it. So yeah, I mean, I'm a very I'm a positive person, but when it comes to politics, I'm not. I'm not. You know, it's not sports. There's no winning team here. No, it's not sports. But you wait. Midterms are coming up. So I hope you guys get out there and vote. Midterms are coming up. They're doing the primaries now, or whatever. So get out there and vote. I'm not saying don't vote. I'm not saying don't vote. I'm not telling you how to vote. It's up to you. It's up to you. I'm just telling you to vote with an independent mind. Vote with an open mind, please. You know, I find it pointless circling the train I used to be a John Wayne, Clint Eastwood kind of guy, but after learning more about them, I changed my mind. Yeah. I'm just curious who all the Kamala haters thought was a better and more qualified candidate, and letting Trump become president is better. You gotta ask them. I don't know, man. Because a lot of people voted for her. A lot of people voted for her. But there was this sense that, she was guaranteed everybody's vote, and you're not. You're not guaranteed everybody's vote. You have to go out there and convince some people. And she didn't. And that's the bottom line. What else do you want? You can't blame it on the people. She's a politician. She has to politic. You have to go out and convince people. That's her job. She didn't run a good campaign. I know it was shortened. It wasn't fair what they did, but they did it. And I think that's part of the problem. People expect to just have this block of voters. And when those voters don't do what people expect them to do, the voters get blamed, no matter what the candidate did. They not only get blamed, they get attacked. They get called traitors. They get called stupid. Is Trump a horrible president? Yes. But he won. What are you going to do about it? I've heard people talking about um, civil war. Like, okay, you started then. I've heard people talking about revolution. Okay, go ahead. You start it. Don't try to amp me up to start it. You do it. That's when it comes to crickets then. Because a lot of these people are just talk. I did a stream a long time ago. 33% of people are not going to vote. 33% of more of the people you hear talking shit are not even going to show up to vote. I show up to vote every time. As much as disappointed I am in politics in America, as much as I don't agree with either side, I show up to vote every fucking time. And I know for a fact that 33%, that's what it is. 33%, you could go look it up yourself if you don't believe me. 33% of eligible voters are not gonna vote. So you could come out here, talk all the shit you want, talk about this side, that side. 33% of y'all ain't gonna vote. I was not a fan of Kamala, but I damn sure voted for her over T. Doesn't that show you what our country is about, Cisco? But that it just is what it is. When wasn't it? When wasn't it though? When did we ever become this? America has great ideals. America was founded on some amazing ideals. But when has it ever lived up to it? When has America ever lived up to the ideals that they were founded on? You tell me that. And then I'll be shocked that Trump got voted in as president. We know this already. Why do we act like we don't know what America is? Hold on, let me read this one. My bad, y'all. Just curious what specifically you didn't like about her. I always hear people say they didn't like her, but it's never anything policy related. Usually it's something about her personality. Well, she's a politician. You have to have personality. You know what I mean? You have to. There were some things I didn't like. He said, that's cool and all, or whatever. But the current administration has the First Amendment in the chokehold. Roe vs. Wade was gutted, and they came for the VRA after the fact. Voting rights. And this is what I'm saying. What are you going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? Right? What candidate is going to be put up there that's going to defeat J.D. Vance? What platform are they going to run on that's going to convince people in the middle? Like, you have to run and you have to campaign. You can't just say, I'm better than that guy. You can't just say, well, it could be worse. Could be. You can't do that. We need politicians that are going to convince the people that they're for the people. That's just it. It gets no simpler than that. It's not that complicated. It's our politicians, Democrats, Republicans, or whatever, they need to get out there and convince people to vote for them. And I'm sorry if Kamala didn't do it. Like I said, she probably would have been better. She probably would have been better than Trump. But we'll never know unless she runs again. So like I said before, I'm interested to see if she runs again. I hope she does run again. And I think she'll win if she runs again, as long as she has a solid platform. Because this is how it usually goes. This is how it usually goes, It will swing back to the left. And then after the left, one or two, terms, it'll swing back to the right. It's a pattern. Man, spoken like someone who wasn't black during Obama 08. Oh, wait, what the I love the song? I don't know what he said before Trump. Oh, before Trump. Yeah, it wasn't that, honestly, man, wasn't that great before Trump, in my opinion. I keep an update on America, which may affect me overseas. Yeah, I agree. I tried to imagine myself as a Filipino, and I just couldn't imagine what it would be like. Yeah, nobody wants to. They want to walk around with their fucking chest poked out like they did something. They were able to get on the plane and use the power of the American dollar. And I'm not trying to diss anybody. You ain't no better than them people over there. You ain't no better, man. Only thing you got going in your favor is the American dollar. That's why everybody always asking about the cost of living over there. Like I said, this coming from a future expat. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I seen the men over there and the way they got to work to get their jobs done. I've seen it, man. And most of the men that's over there now, walking around with their chest poked out, they couldn't walk a day in a Filipino man's shoes. Couldn't do it. I voted for her, but I wasn't inspired by her. She just seemed to be trying to be too cute all the time. She just didn't win at the end of the day. Maybe if she had more time, maybe if Biden should have never ran. He said he wasn't going to run. Biden said he wasn't going to run. And then he ran. Because finally he got there. You know what I mean? Finally he made it to the top. He's been trying his whole damn life. And he finally got there and he didn't want to let it go. I forgot when he said it, but I remember when he was campaigning, he said it. He said, I forgot how he said it. If any of you guys know what I'm talking about, when Biden said that he was not going to run, that he wasn't going to stand in the way. He said that. Then he went back on his word and he ran again. Takes more than money to create life to serve overseas. It's not like he's out here living in BDC Heights or one of the beach town, bro. Listen to a place that's really only got holes and BPOs. Yeah, it's crazy, man. T-Mars, I've been seeing it my whole life. The U.S. was not built for people like you and me. We've had to claw and scratch our way to equality. That's too much for the racists who still hold power. Yeah. That's the America I know. Like, this is what I'm saying, though. When I say America has good ideals, but America's still America. And now a lot of other people are seeing what America really is. That, oh shit, this don't get me nothing because I'm poor. I'm poor. I'm getting treated just like all these other people. You know? So we'll see, man. He said living in Angela City and accusing someone else of cope is absolutely pants on I think Trump would have run as a Dem if he thought his chance was absolutely. And it'll be a whole different story. This is what I'm talking about, Russ. This is what I'm talking about. He would have ran for whatever the easiest path was, and he would have did the same thing. He would have did the same thing if he was a Democrat. He'd be doing the same fucking thing he's doing now, trying to push the limits of our Constitution to the breaking point. Like he is trying his hardest. He's pushing anywhere he can try to push to gain power. He's trying to, and he's wreaking a lot of havoc. Full page New York Times ad. Yeah, I remember it. I remember it. Trump was a lifelong Dem. He tried to run as one. They wanted nothing to do with him. Well, my black mother became more obsessed about politics when Trump was in office. Ooh. That's usually what I hear. I think it's tough for someone who is truly qualified to try and win a popularity contest unless they're truly special. Those people are very rare. Maybe reason is something, but I don't think many black people who were of voting age in 2008 or at least 2012 saw 2016 as the first time they cared about politics. I can understand some people not supporting the Dems. I can also understand some people vote for the Republicans, but I can't understand people absolutely loving Trump. Yeah, me neither. No. No, I can't understand anybody loving a politician that much. Like, not Obama, not Biden, none of them. None of them, man. To the point where you stop even talking to your real family and shit. How am I doing with the chat, guys? Am I close? Am I close? Says no, Blizz. They're not all horrible. See, I'm so far back. I don't even know what that means. Dude literally tried to stage a coup. Yes, he did. He denied the election. Denied the election results. Almost started an uprising. He did, basically. I can totally understand people loving Trump. In this country, there's a huge chunk of racist, misogynistic morons who have just enough delusion to back him up. See? This is where it starts to get off the rails, though, Cisco. This is what I mean. I don't think everybody that voted for Trump is racist, misogynistic, or morons. I don't think so. I don't know how many millions of people voted for him. But I don't think everyone is one of those, fits in one of those categories. I just think that some people view the world. There were some people looking at people that voted for Kamala the same way you're looking at people that voted for Trump, because y'all got different worldviews, come from different places. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I'm saying, man. This is when I believe it starts to get twisted, man. Because this is just a divide. This is what I'm talking about when I say we start pointing fingers, we start name calling because somebody doesn't agree or somebody doesn't vote the way I want them to vote. Well, guess what? You just stay separate. You can't convince nobody. Convince me, not me personally, but convince me why I should vote the way you vote. Calling me stupid, and I keep saying me and you just to make it make sense in my mind. But if I'm disagreeing with you, convince me if you think I'm convincible. Don't call me stupid, because then we're just going to stay separate. You're never going to bring me over to your side. You know what I mean? And you're also going to turn off a whole bunch of other people. But no, like I said, I don't think everybody that voted for Trump is a racist or misogynistic. I just think some people thought he was going to help the economy. Like some people really thought, I don't know who, some people really thought he was going to help the economy. And he voted on that one issue. And it backfired. It absolutely backfired. But it is what it is, man. I voted for Harris and was perplexed why some big Dems initially hesitated once Biden dropped out. She was sitting VP and deserved auto default nominee, in my honest opinion. Yeah, they was booty popping at her rallies and shit. I heard, and this is what gives me pause. Like I said, I still lean more with Democratic than not. But it does give me pause to think how they view a person like me as well. It really does, man. The things that they do. Like I heard George, because I listened to these guys. What's the guy name? The one that said it's the economy stupid. James, his name James Carville. I heard him saying he was doing an interview. And T Marsh, I see you down there. Peace, bro. If you bouncing, peace. TJ bouncing. Oh, TJ bouncing. Now, I heard him say, and like I said, this isn't a reason to vote either way, but it does give people pause, man. So it's James Carville. He was doing an interview, and he was saying, like, yeah, I don't think we need Kamala to run again. We need a white guy, and we need to get him down to Clyburn's fish fry. And we need him to learn how to do a little dance and laugh and joke. Like if that, like, and they think that's what's gonna secure the vote, man. This is a top Democratic strategist. So it's not, I don't care, man. You have to have good messaging. Now, would that alone make me not vote for them? No. That alone won't make me not vote for them. But they gotta stop doing shit like that. It does turn people off. Because shit, saying things like that makes me think that you don't really think differently from the other side. We are still in America, right? I can't tell someone how to vote, but I can tell them to shut the fuck up if they're complaining about a situation they voted for. Yeah, I agree. Let's go. You pretty much hit the nail on the head. The actress, I tell you, dumb, eat that shit. Just a cookie here, all the sausages. I don't know what coat I get myself in this quick break time. LOL. That's called being civil bloods. I guess that's too old fashioned now. Yeah, we've lost the art of just being able to talk and listen, to disagree. But it's, I mean, politics is real life, man. It has real consequences. I get it. But all the yelling, screaming, and fighting, all that is the reason why people say don't talk about politics. If they only did a real background check, we might not be in this situation. How can you let a convicted felon run for the highest office in the world? All right, we got a suggestion here from J Moon. Salute. He says, check out. Damn, these fucking things are pro meth, the inaction. He explains current geopolitics accurate and honestly. Salute. Thank you, Icy. Thank you, Icy. I watched House of L. Yes, I watched that. Cisco says, I honestly don't care what anyone who supports Trump thinks at this point. These people are so far gone from anything that resembles what America used to be. See, this is why I always have to push back, and it makes me sound like because I'm so in the middle, and I really am, guys. But it makes me sound like I'm supporting the other side when I'm really not. I'm just appealing for more people to think um, and to be in the center. Absolutely not defending Trump. That doesn't mean I'm ready to throw everybody that voted for him away. Because I know people vote for different reasons, and we need to stop acting like they don't. People vote for different reasons, man. And you ain't gonna win every election. You're gonna lose some, right? I don't think Kamala was a good candidate. I watched her debate. I watched her give speeches. I don't think she was the best candidate. I don't get to decide. Shit, you didn't get to decide. None of us got to decide whether Kamala Harris is going to be the candidate or not. There was something off. She didn't, whether it be racism, whether it be misogyny, whether it be just she just couldn't give a good speech, whatever it was, they just didn't win this election, right? We got to get through 4 years of Trump, and it's not going to be easy. He is tearing down a lot of shit. He is pissing off a lot of our allies. He is, man. You know, we got to get through it, man. And tearing the country apart is not gonna help. I just want to see a good candidate come from the left. You know, because it used to be run from the right, govern from the center. Run from the left, govern from the center. And that's just not happening anymore because we don't make them do it anymore. That used to be how it went. Run from the left, govern from the center. Run from the right, govern from the center. Y'all remember that? There is no fucking center anymore. The people on the right are nuts. The people on the far left are nuts. They are, man. The far right is nuts. The far left is nuts. Both sides. No, you don't. No, you don't need a. I'm telling you, you don't. I'm telling you, he don't. No, you don't need a Trump in Australia. No one is in the center anymore. Yeah, we've gotten way far away from that. Diversity, divided, and conquered in nature. Not satisfied with your current congressional maps. Yeah, they fucking them up too. Well, not in my state. Not in my state, not in my district. Maybe soon. I don't know. Who knows? I don't understand how as many, and this is where my brain goes. And I'm not saying I'm right or wrong, but this is just where my brain goes, right? Blame Trump is absolutely his fault. He put people in there that in the Supreme Court, you know, that would erode the Voting Rights Act. They knew what they were doing. How long has the Voting Rights Act been in jeopardy? How long? Why didn't Biden stuff the fucking the bench? Why? Why, man? You knew what they were trying to do. It's just where my brain went. I don't know the answer. I'm asking y'all. I don't think the center is really the center anymore. Conservatives are so far right wing. The actual center is still a terrible position to take. Yeah, I think the far left and the far right is both sides are nuts. Yeah, both sides are nuts. Our background music is what? Wow. There are some things that I'm liberal about, and there are some things that I'm conservative about too. That being said, my liberal side is what I stand for. Yeah, I'm always gonna lean more left. I'm always gonna lean more left. But I'm also gonna push back against this extreme left. I'm gonna push back against the extreme right. I am sorry, man. If you tell me there's only one way to live and only one way to think, and if I don't think the way you think, if I don't vote the way you vote, like that's extreme, bro. That's extreme. You know, if you want my vote, just figure out a way to steal it from me. Like, don't just keep insulting me, like, because you only get one of those. You only get one of those. Voted for empty promises. Yeah, but I'm always gonna say, vote. Just do some damn research on who you vote for. One, and then vote, man. Vote. Cause like I said, we know a lot of y'all not voting. A lot of y'all not voting, man. And it's even worse. I talked about this. I did a upload about this a while ago, about the percentages and how people vote and all that stuff. It's horrible. It's way worse in local elections. Way worse. So I can't get over with the music and listen to serious. It's not appropriate. Crime, border control. Yeah, crime was already going down. I think border crossings have dropped, but it's the way they're doing it is it's fucked up. You know, I was so disappointed in Harris's strategy team. They seem to be amateurs or something. Lifelong Dems, progressive, but the party is way too left right now. Naturally, you should be guaranteed the vote of any decent, reasonable people when Trump is your opponent. Come on, man. This is what I'm see. It's like I get where you're coming from, man. I get where you're coming from, but it's not reality, man. It's not reality, bro. Like I don't like Trump, man. I don't like him. But I am gonna try to see why someone or how someone could vote. And it's not too far fetched to believe that somebody could vote for him. It's not, man. In my eyes, it's not. It's not too far fetched to see how somebody could vote for him or to see how somebody could be in a situation, you know, where they would vote for him, especially if they thought he was gonna help the economy. Like I could see it, man. It's not too far fetched, especially when you got some people that are just one. Um, they only vote for one thing, one issue. Even though, like, we do know that the economy does do better during Democratic presidencies. That's absolutely true. I don't know. It's heated. It's just me up here. I'm getting heated with myself. It's supposed to be an open panel. Nobody want to talk with me. They want to type at me. They don't want to talk with me. He said, Icy says, I hope America can come together and fight for the people. Very wishful thinking, but I still believe in humanity somehow. What about those issues are you conservative about? Who are you talking to? T Marsh? Oh, T Marsh. Yeah. It's getting harder and harder, Icy. I think don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, if you in the building, hit the like button. I don't know how many we got. I don't even know how y'all be seeing how many likes y'all got. I don't ever see how many likes I got. Is this the hardest time in America history? I'm gonna try to catch up. I'm so far. Oh, you know what? Damn, I'm way back there, y'all. I apologize, guys. I might have to skip some of y'all old comments. Y'all going ham in the chat, man. I'm gonna have to skip. If you got a comment before 11:20, and you want me to get to it, can you retype it? Because I'm gonna try to catch up so I could actually make sense of what y'all saying. It's just too many to catch up, and I'm trying to answer everything. All right, I got this one. Many people thought that Biden would try to stay. He should have. He should have. And the judge should have stepped down before she died. Ruth, damn, sorry, y'all. Damn. RGB, whatever her name is. I know her name. I just can't. I'm drawing a blank right now. Ruth. Help me out, one of y'all. She should have stepped down. I don't know why she had to go out, like sitting in the damn chair, hold like still, like she should have stepped down, man. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, yes, thank you. Blaming the president for serving the little hats agenda. I don't believe in that either, man. Y'all like to blame everything. Y'all like to blame everything on the little hats. Like this is and I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna just say it, man. Like white men, white Americans have been in control of America this whole time. Like there's no reason why y'all should be complaining about anything. Not you specifically, but stop blaming the little hat for everything that goes wrong, man. Always blaming somebody else. Take accountability. Take accountability, man. It ain't about no white hat, little hat, and all that shit, man. It's about who's in charge. I was thinking about that the other day because somebody was always saying, "Oh, the little hats, the little hats, the little hats." I'm like, they've never been in control, man. And if they are in control, guess who gave them control? Guess who sold out? Wasn't me. The redrawn congressional maps that were voted on by the people were struck down by the state Supreme Court. Meanwhile, red state politicians redrew their based on the recent black districts, and it's okay. It's not okay. But what can we do? What are we gonna do about it? What are we gonna do about it? Because what one happened in Louisiana, and then the other one happened in Florida. It is bad. It is bad. Salute, salute. Let's read this one right here, man. Let me remember where I'm at first. Salute, no Lindo, my boy right here, man. With the 999, he said they rule with fear, we answer with hope. They built the walls, we learned to cope. And through the fire, we found our voice because real freedom is the people's choice. with some poetry in the building. Salute, bro. Hope you having a good night, man. Probably go to sleep. But salute, man. Thank you, bro. What's the worst thing you could say about the far left compared about the worst of the far right? They're not equally terrible. Yes, they are, because they don't allow anyone else to have an opinion, bro. Either side. Either side does not allow you to have an opinion, man. If you disagree with somebody on the far left, right, it's the same as disagreeing with somebody on the far right. I don't have this political identity that some of you guys have, man. Like I'm not defined by what political party I belong to. You know what I mean? I would never call myself uh 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 conservative or anything like that. I am what the fuck I am, man. Some people, they build their whole identity around how they vote. It makes no sense to me. That's why it's so easy for you to cut your family off when they don't vote the same way y'all vote. And like I said, I'm not attacking anybody. I'm not aiming specifically at anybody. I'm just giving you what I feel and what I think. You know, because you build and people build their identity around their political affiliation. And I never understood that. I still don't, and I don't think I ever will. Because at the end of the day, that political party don't give a fuck about you, man. Like, let's be real, man. We've seen both parties have been in office since the Civil Rights Voting Act has been in danger. It's not like it just became in danger when Trump got in office. Why weren't the Democrats willing to go as far as the Republicans were to protect it? The Republicans were willing to go this far to destroy it. Why wasn't the Democrats willing to go just as far or farther to protect it? Good candidate has to be smart, well-spoken, good foreign policy, and look and act presidential. None of which Trump is none of those. None of those. None of those, bro. Just because the far left wants people to have free health care, to raise wealth inequality, eradicate racism, sexism, etc. Yeah, those some crazy shit. I know. It's not. But it's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna happen. You're gonna eradicate racism in America. You're gonna eradicate sexism in America. How do you do that? You're gonna erase wealth inequality. You're just gonna take people's money. It's good. Like I said, the ideals are good. The ideals are good, man. I don't believe none of that's gonna happen. I don't believe any of that's gonna happen. I don't. Maybe they'll bring some of us closer. And like I said, you don't have to agree with me. I'm not saying you have to agree with me, or I'm not gonna like you if you don't agree with me, or we can't be friends. Like, I know some of y'all is probably like, oh, fuck Blizz. He don't believe what I believe. So fuck him. I don't even want to deal with him no more. But that's okay, man. That's okay. This is, I thought you wrote they are equally terrible. So I'd say I agree. I'll be honest, man. Since the day I created this channel, man, pushed back against extremes. I have, and I don't think that's going to change about me. Um, I've always spoken this way. I just never focused directly on politics. I voted from the Philippines. I don't know if they counted it or not, but I did vote here. Trash is garbage. No, no matter the candidate. You're tripping. The economy exploded during the Clinton years. Yep. He actually um he actually balanced the budget and even I think he had a surplus. So it ain't happened since. It ain't happened since under neither party since then. It's out of control. The price of gas is so high lately. The mafia just walk by. People are morons if they thought a guy who bankrupted casinos was going to help the economy. Thanks for proving my point. Cisco's in the building. My brother. What up, man?
What's up, bro?
Thanks for joining me, man.
I
Thanks
couldn't
for
I couldn't let you
joining
be up
me.
here by yourself, man. You getting all worked up. I gotta share the stress with
Yeah.
you.
So I went an hour and a half, man. Where my people's at, man? I was about to say, all right, this is the last open panel. Then I'm just gonna go solo. But nah, salute, man.
No, for sure, bro. Hold on, I can't see the chat on this. I got my iPad and then I got my phone, so I'm gonna try to, I'm old, I can't see shit, so I gotta uh look at what the chat's saying on the phone. Let's see. Oh, that's the wrong one. You still hear me?
Pretty, yeah, I said pretty boy in the house. Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Look who's talking.
Adam. T. Mark's getting on Adam about smoking and drinking Pepsi.
Okay,
Misery
there we go.
creates the most profit in the
Damn, I
world.
still might have to put some damn glasses on. Well, check it out, because I'm gonna look smarter, so you guys will what I say is really important
Shit.
because I put glasses on.
Oh,
That's
shit.
that's what a real candidate needs to do. They need to look presidential. So I'm gonna look presidential now.
I know I seen that comment. He said T. Marsh talked about. I said Trump ain't none of those. Like I said, I'm not for Trump, but I'm not against him so far that I just vote for anybody and anything. You still got to convince me to vote for you, and I think that's what people are. You got people right now that it doesn't matter who runs on the Democratic side, they're gonna vote Democrat, right? Do you got people? People like that? It
Oh, of
doesn't matter.
course.
It doesn't matter.
But
And I
but here's
think
the
that's
thing.
wrong.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. You've only got really two choices, right? I mean, we can complain all day about, oh, the system, okay, but that's the system we have. Okay, right now that's the system we have. We can try to change it, whatever that means. I don't know how you change that, but you got two parties basically that are large and in charge. A third party candidate really doesn't ever gain traction. But if your options are, like I said before, a guy who's literally a convicted felon, a rapist, a potential pedophile, a guy who's cheated on every wife he's ever had, a guy who's paid off porn stars, a guy who said stuff about grabbing women by the pussy, a guy who has bankrupted casinos, a guy, I mean, I could go on and on about this guy. And I know for you, you wanna try to pull people together. But like I said, I don't want to be pulled together with people who support rapists, pedophiles, criminals, racist, misogynist. I don't want to be pulled together with those people. I have nothing in common with those people. And, it may not be the politically correct thing, no pun intended, but I'm sorry, I have nothing in common with those people. And if you have no problem supporting a guy that's about all those things, Like I said, you are either those things yourself or you are a moron. There's no way around it. I mean, prove me wrong on that. I can't, it may not be the diplomatic thing to say, but I'm sorry, I can't be diplomatic with those kind of people. I cannot.
I just think there's a whole group of people who do not vote that way. They do not vote with their heart. There are a whole lot of one issue voters. I know people that vote for the Second Amendment. I'm not saying it's right, but they vote for the Second Amendment. That's it. I don't know any of these people, these what's that religious group? Like I said, I'm not a politician, and I didn't study politics. But it's the group, the evangelicals, right? They're gonna vote red regardless. That their one issue is all they care about. There's people that are gonna vote on just because they think this guy is better on the economy. And they're not racist. They don't care about his charges, even though it's fucked up.
But they're morons. But they are morons, though. If you are a single issue voter, you're a moron. Because number one, you're voting against your own best interests. Even if you're voting on that one issue that you think is important, the Second Amendment. Can you eat the Second Amendment? Does the Second Amendment pay your bills? Does the Second Amendment educate your children? No. If that's all you're voting on, you're a moron. And if all you're voting on is, hey, I hate millionaires and billionaires, and I just want to stick it to them, so I'm going to vote for the Democrats. Guess what? You're a moron. Okay, your heart may be in the right place. It may be something that interests you, but if that's all you're voting for, you can't see the big picture. You're a moron. I just can't see another way around it.
But you have them on both sides. You agree?
I agree. I do agree with that. But they're not. But they are not the same, though. Like I said, what's the worst thing you can say? You said, well, they don't want anybody to have opinions. Well, I don't think that's a far left thing or a far right thing. I don't think that they're necessarily saying that you can't have opinions. I think that it's just they want their way to be the way, which I'm not even necessarily opposed to that. That's fine. Everybody wants their way to be the way. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is on the far left, like I said, what are the far left ideals? And I mean, I don't want to get too philosophical with it because it's a deeper conversation than what we're having, but generally speaking, what do they want? They want free healthcare for people. They want, racism
I don't think that's
and misogyny and all, and they want equality. Like, what is the worst thing the far left wants? What's the worst thing that they want? Usually it has stuff to do with helping more people.
What is the far left, though? What is the far left? Because I think
there's really not a big far left
universal health care
in this country.
I was about to say that universal health care. I don't think that's really far left. I think that's just
it's not.
Left.
What would you consider far left, though? Because you're saying they're the same. Because I can tell you what far right is.
People that will pull a fucking
go shoot a CEO.
No, yeah,
that's far left.
Attempted assassination on the president.
That guy wasn't far left.
Park abortion vans outside of a convention, like things like that.
Wait, do what?
Pull up portable mobile abortion clinics outside of a damn rally.
Pull one of those up to a rally?
Yeah.
That's far left?
Yeah, it is. To me,
giving women an opportunity to have bodily autonomy is far left?
At a rally? A rally?
It may be maybe pissing the people off who are rallying against abortion, but is that really
I'm not against abortion.
No, I'm not saying I'm not saying you are.
It's kind of what I was saying earlier. Is like, all right, this is we know you're for abortion, but I don't think it should be your top issue.
Who's for abortion?
The left.
Oh, no, I don't think anybody on the left is for abortion. I think that they're for people's right to choose what their medical procedures are that happen to their own body are. There's a big difference. I don't think anybody's for abortion. Who the hell wants to see, fetuses and babies, aborted? Nobody wants that. But if somebody chooses to do that with their own body, I'm not going to tell them that they can't do that. And it's a sticky situation, and it's there
Yeah,
it's
it
not it's
is.
more complex than what we're making it sound like. But again, at the end of the day, I'm somebody who I'm more for people's freedom. I would rather give people more freedom than less freedom. Unless you can make a really good argument why they shouldn't have that particular freedom, I'm saying give it to them. And I don't think that there's a really
Yeah.
good argument about telling a woman that she has to have a baby no matter what. I think that
No, I agree
you
with
can't
you
make
on
the
that
argument.
point. I agree with you at, on that point. But what is the reason? What is the reason to pull a mobile abortion clinic up to a rally? Like we
You
know
talk
you're for
to
Kamala
like to a
Harris.
rally of people
That's far
who are
left people.
anti-abortion or
No,
anti-choice.
no, but it's like, all right, I can understand if these mobile clinics were utilized on a regular basis, but to use them as like a prop and pull them up to your rally, Kamala Harris's rally when she was campaigning, do you think that was smart? I don't
I
think it
never
was
heard
smart.
that or saw that. But if you're saying that happened, I mean, I don't know. I can take
Yeah,
your word for it that did happen. I honestly, I don't even have a problem with it. I don't, like I said, abortion is legal, or it was legal at the time that occurred. I mean, depending on what state you're in. I mean, if it was something that was legal, then just like I don't have a problem with people carrying firearms in states where that's legal. I mean, you could make the same argument. Do you feel that it's okay for people to carry firearms at a rally? Well, yeah, if it's legal, people may not like it. People may think it's unsafe, but if it's legal, it is what it is. Just like the
I
guy that
get,
got shot and killed,
but
just like the guy that got
this is what
shot
I'm
and killed
talking
in
about.
Minnesota.
But it's about the messaging. It's about the messaging, right? You're trying to pull voters in. You're trying to convince people to vote for you. You already have a certain amount of voters, right? Like you said, there's going to be people that are going to vote um, for Democrats, for Republicans, regardless. They're just going to vote that way. They're going to vote blue. They're going to vote red. All right. So all the people that you're going to convince by pulling up that, and I don't want to keep going back to it, but this is kind of what I'm talking about when I'm talking about campaigning and messaging. You already had those people voting for you, right? Do you think it's smart to do this one thing that may turn somebody else off? Or do you just not give a fuck?
Well, this is what I think. There's two ways to look at this. We can look at the reality of the situation, which is the majority of Americans cannot read above a sixth grade level. That's a fact. A majority of Americans cannot read above a sixth grade level. So just that fact alone tells you how sophisticated most Americans are able to comprehend, you know, complex issues when it comes to politics, world affairs, what have you. So keeping that in mind, yeah, the way to win elections is probably to dumb down your message, to have a populist opinion on pretty much everything, and tell people what they want to hear. And guess who did that? The guy that's in the White
Trump.
House right now.
Trump.
And he's a piece of
Yeah.
shit. He's a total piece of shit human being, period. Okay. But he won. Okay. So that's what you end up with when you play that game. Now, if we do how it should work, is we should have an educated electorate that, you can sit down, have rational, reasonable, logical, discussions with people and say, okay, here are the facts. Here's what I'm going to do to make the country better. Here's how I'm going to do it. Have a plan. And that's what Kamala Harris did. She literally put her whole platform, what she was going to do, how she was going to do it, online for anybody to read. And nobody went and did that because the majority of Americans can't read above a sixth grade level. So those are the two realities that we live in. What's actually going to be better for everyone in this country, and what actually is going to happen because the majority of people are just not, at a level of sophisticated thinking to where they can comprehend these issues. And that's why we need the best people running the country, not one of us. who's just a regular Joe who doesn't have the qualifications to run the
You need to
country.
run. You need to run, bro.
No, I'm not
But
at that level. I'm
so
not at that level. I'm not
you
at that level. I'm
think
not even close to that level.
you better than
But
some motherfuckers they got in there. Let me just
yeah,
say
but
that.
I
But
could
let
play
me ask
basketball
this.
better than a lot of people too. But I'm not going to join the NBA.
Let me
You know
say
what I
this.
mean?
Let me ask you this though. So you said that she put her whole platform out online.
Yeah.
I remember that. I read some of it. I didn't read all of it, to be honest. Do you think she did it too late?
It wasn't her choice. Biden jumped out of the election. I don't even think she knew that. She didn't even know he was going to do it until the last minute. And then she got, I mean, I'm not saying that she wasn't like, okay, I'll run, but I'm saying she got put in a very bad position. There's not too many people that
out.
who should have bowed out.
Biden. He should have never ran in the first place.
I agree, but here's the other problem with that. Most people, the calculus of the Democratic Party establishment, was that, well, he's our best chance to win, and they were probably right because he won the first time, and America, would rather have a white man running the country because that's what America's about. It's been about that from day one, and anybody who finds that offensive or wants to argue, before Barack Obama became the president of the United States, how many non-white men were president of the United States? Anybody want to take a guess? Okay, so we all know that that's what America wants. So running Biden was the best choice that we had, for somebody to beat Trump. That was the calculus that they used. Well, when he was proven to be just mentally deficient, they had to put somebody else in there. Well, who is the next person up? Generally speaking, the next person up is going to be the vice president, like Juice said.
Vice president.
It just so happens that she's a black woman, a black Asian woman, okay? But here's the good thing. She was extremely qualified, probably one of the most qualified people. Whether you agree with her politics or not is irrelevant. She was one of the most qualified people to ever run for president this country's ever seen. She's been a vice president, okay? She's extremely intelligent, okay? Her platform was very well put together. It was, like I said, it was a good platform. And it's actually what a majority of Americans want. When you poll people in America, regardless of party, what she was putting out there was what a majority of people wanted. But she was just not likable to other people.
She's not gonna run again. She wasn't. I think she is.
Yeah, she wasn't likable to a lot of people, and that's the problem. Is that it's a popularity contest. Everybody wants somebody that's like cool and like. You have to be Obama to get to be a non-white man and be president. You have to be literally a perfect person. If you're not, because there was nothing that, again, setting political beliefs aside, you can disagree with Obama politically, but as a person, the dude was damn near perfect. He's been married to the same woman for decades, no scandals, no criminal record, Harvard Law School, top of Harvard Law School. He was a community organizer. He worked his way up through Chicago political system all the way. I mean, he was damn near perfect. And that's what you have to be to get to the top in this system that we have. And if you don't have that, you're not going to win.
And she didn't have it. You got Spro in the back.
Some of these comments, though, I love these comments.
Yes, I'm trying to keep popping them up, but it's an open panel.
So I want to vote for Cisco.
Right? Come on, man. Hey, Spro, if you show me who you are real quick, man, so I just make sure you real. I know I seen you in the chat. I'm not gonna show nobody else.
Spro show.
You got your camera, pop your camera on real quick. All right, so thank you, bro.
Beach life, Cisco wild.
I'll let you up now. There you go. Turn your camera back off. So salute, bro.
Brothers.
Welcome.
Right, Juice? Right, Juice? That's what I'm saying.
Good to see you in here, man. I see you in the comment, man. See you in the comment section. I think you got some interesting
discussion. Yeah, it's this. I'm all over it. I guess basically, I guess from my comments. I don't know if I got the point across, but like I'm kind of just tired of like I'm definitely black pilled. I don't think I'm ever gonna vote again. Like at this point. But
Hey,
it's the
real quick,
hypocrisy for
can you
me. And
define
this goes
black
for
pill?
like literally
I've just
all
heard that.
everyone involved.
What's
Like
black
just doom and
pill?
gloom. Like it's we're cooked.
Oh,
Black
okay, I'm
pilled's
definitely not
like I'm
that.
just doom. Like we're cooked. It's done. All
I mean,
done.
are you serious when you say that, or are you just like kind of joking?
Um Honestly 50-50, I guess. Like it's because it's at a point now where I'm like, I don't think it matters anymore. I would define myself as classic liberal, whatever the hell that means these days. I I'm registered as an independent, and I'm just kind of like rationale. I'll whatever candidate, if it's cool stuff, if it's stuff that like a majority agree with, like I don't think I'm gonna always agree with every single point that either candidate has, but I'm like, okay, if it's the majority stuff, and then I'm probably gonna like go that way. And at this point, it's gotten to a point now where like my head doesn't screw on and off, and that goes for both sides. Like it's both sides are hypocrites. This goes for the politicians and even the people involved. It just seems like whatever my ops don't want, I'm just going to go against the grain. I'm not going to think about rationale. I'm not going to think about what I personally think. um, I'm just going to go with whatever the opposite is, and whatever talking point I can go with that opposes the side that I don't like, that's what I'm going to go with. And it's quite irritating. I'm sick of both sides trying to play me like a fucking fiddle. Sorry, excuse my language. Um, and it is. I'm tired. I'm tired.
Me too.
Like it
I'm not
never
gonna lie.
ends. It never ends.
Me
And
too.
there was a point a few years ago where it seemed like, and I couldn't believe it. It seemed like people that kind of lean more right were kind of making the most sense. But now it's like, well, no, you're
Wait,
doing
when was that?
you're doing the same thing that you. For me personally, like I would say a few years ago, it was around 2020 where I started really paying attention to stuff, and it was like, whoa, it's getting spooky.
You said the
And
far
I think for a
right
lot of
was
people, like
saying.
no matter what side you were on,
No, leaning right. But you're talking about like the McCain
not the far
days? I
right,
don't
the right
remember.
in
Like,
general. So the far right and the far left are two completely different things. Like, and I just, yeah, it's like you're like at one point it seemed like the one side was calling out a lot of hypocrisy, and I was like, okay, I can get with that, and there were receipts. But now it's like you're doing the same thing. You're doing the same thing that you said that you didn't like. Now it's just, oh, my ops, so I'm just going to go against the grain and do the opposite. And I think it's BS. I'm tired of the same talking points from both sides. I'm sick of like, oh, they're making the kids gay. I'm tired of, oh, but Trump's mean. I'm just sick of both of it. It's all retarded.
yeah, I think you're kind of where I'm at,
Questions,
but I'm
thoughts?
I'm not black pill. I'm still gonna vote. I mean, I'm still gonna vote. Um, I know a lot of people say hold your nose and pull the lever, but um, I do believe there's some hope out there. I just don't know where the fuck it's at, man. Like when I say I don't believe in both sides, I mean in my state you can't register independent. You register unaffiliated, and that's exactly what I am.
Same
I'm
thing.
unaffiliated. Yeah, I'm unaffiliated. I don't want nothing to do with either side. I get it. Some people like, I'll be honest, Cisco, sometimes I feel like you campaigning, bro. Like you could be a politician, bro. You probably need to be a politician.
Well,
That's when I say that,
You
bro.
definitely have the passion.
You're probably the type of person that I would vote for, man.
no, because I people would really think I'm far left.
Far left.
They'd really think I'm far left. And here's what far left is. People, in my opinion, what people think far left is, or what they're describing when they're seeing what is far left. I think what they're describing is people who want the best for the most people. And even if those people are not people you necessarily agree with, or you like their life choices, you still want them to have equality. You still want them to have rights just like you have. That's far left to most people. You know, I saw AJ, he had put a comment up there about indoctrinating school children in the LGBTQ community. I mean, the only thing I can say about that is replace the acronym LGBTQ with Black people. Okay, because the things that they're saying about what they're doing with, you know, indoctrinating the kids into LGBT, people were saying the same thing about desegregating schools. I don't want my kids to be brought up with Black kids and, you know, be having Black lifestyle and do Black things. And that's exactly what I'm hearing when I hear people saying indoctrinating into LG. You don't have to like people who are gay. You don't have to agree with their life choices. But nobody who's in charge, nobody who's reasonable is trying to force your kids to be gay or lesbian or straight. What they're doing is they're simply saying those people live amongst all of the rest of us. They exist, and they've been marginalized and you know, abused for since the beginning of time. And we are at a point in our history where we like that to stop. And so here's who these people are. Here's what their life, this is what their life is. This is show the kids what exactly is happening. And we can all sit here and say, well, you know, I don't want my kids to know. Your kids already know, and they're gonna know. You
Yeah, they
know, I
know.
would rather my kids know that stuff than grow up not knowing it and hear so much mumbo jumbo and misinformation about it, and then potentially, you know, do some hateful shit because they don't really understand it. And I think, you know, again, like I said, it's
Yeah,
exactly what
I
I'm
don't think
hearing
it's
when I
the
hear that.
policy itself. I don't think it's the policy itself. It could be individual bad actors that are doing things, and they need to be singled out and punished if they're doing weird shit
That's what I think.
with the kids because they are doing weird shit. I don't think it's the policy. I think that's overblown about forcing kids to be one way or the other. I do believe that's overblown um, because it's out there. It's in
I think the people
society.
that are
It's
afraid
it's
of
it's
that
out there
are
so much.
worried because when, like, I guess people who they would categorize as being quote far left, when they're asked about it, like they don't give like a straight answer. I think that's probably where the concern comes from. But like I agree with, like, I mean, yeah, the kids know. I mean, I was going to school in the 2000s, 2010, well, beginning of the 2010s. And like, I mean, we knew about it. You know, people weren't like, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like it wasn't like a thing. At least from my perspective, like where I was, you know, some of the kids were gay, you know, yeah, people that were gay, but the teachers weren't like giving us their life story or anything. You know, it was just kind of separate. And I think because like you kind of see there are a few weird bad actors, maybe a little more prevalent than before, but or maybe not even, maybe because we're so plugged into the internet now, we just see it more. But
Yeah,
I
you
don't
just see a
think,
lot.
yeah, I don't think it'd be a policy thing. And anyone who would make it a policy thing, that's a suicide mission. You'd never win.
And the thing of it is that yeah, you do have some bad actors. I mean, on all sides, of course, there's bad actors. There's people that put their personal opinions. Give you an example for teachers. If there was a teacher at my kid's school that said something to the effect of, "Hey kids, uh, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender people exist, and I think that they should have equal rights as anybody else." That's not, to me, that's not a controversial statement.
Wrong.
That's not something that's a bad
Nothing wrong with
statement.
that.
Now, if they were to say something to the effect of, "Hey kids, you should try being gay, you know, because you never know until you try." Okay, that now you're crossing the line.
Yeah,
Okay. Or if they were to say, "Hey kids, being gay is a sin and we should just kill all gay people," that's crossing a line. So obviously there is a line somewhere, and sometimes it's a gray area to what's personal opinion and what's actually curriculum, and it's up to the school district to decide that ultimately. But again, to my knowledge, there are no schools in the United States that are forcing kids to be gay or telling kids they should be gay. Simply telling kids that gay people exist And when I say gay people, I'm including the whole gamut of LGBTQ. I'm not going to keep using the same acronym over and over. Alternative lifestyle, whatever they call it, right? Just simply letting kids know that those people exist and the history that they have had in this country, just as other minorities have had in this country, that should be discussed and should be talked about. Kids should know this stuff. But going too far this way or too far that way, no, that's of course that's not even a question.
See, this is where I kind of separate. Yeah, these people need protections, but they're not the majority, and it doesn't need to be a top issue in the Democratic Party. That's where you start losing people, right? LGBTQ, they do need to be protected, but it shouldn't be at the top of the agenda. It shouldn't be.
It's not. I don't know where it's at the top of the agenda.
It is. It is. Protecting their rights is. Abortion is at the top of their agenda. It's right up there.
Top of whose agenda?
The Democratic platform.
You don't think that people having equal rights should be a top agenda?
Of course I do. Of course I do. But I don't think it should be up here because we're the Democratic Party. We're going to protect your rights anyway. If you guys know that, you know that. If you vote for me, you know that already. Why is that at the top of the banner? LGBT, abortion. Why is that up there? I
don't think it's at the very tippy top of the platform. I think it's among a lot of issues that are up at the top. But I think what the problem, right? There's a lot of issues that are at the top, and that's one of them. It's not the top, and so I think what the problem is, there's just a lot of people in this country who feel real icky when they hear about gay shit, and for those people, that's all they're focusing on. No, that's all you're focusing on. You're focusing on the gay shit because, and I'm not talking about you personally, Blizzard. I'm talking about the people who feel icky about gay stuff. Those are the people who feel it's at the top. Just like there's people who think gun issues are all conservatives think about, and it's not. It's a big issue. It's up there, but it's not all they think about. And if you're just anti-gun for whatever reason, that's what that's what you're focused on. So I don't think the Democratic Party is guilty of saying, "Oh, let's just push gay shit." No, that's part of their agenda is to have equal rights and for people who have been marginalized to be made into mainstream society. And there's some people who just don't want it. Just like there's people who didn't want blacks to be brought into mainstream society. Just like there's people who didn't want women to be brought into mainstream society. And those people are conservatives. Republican, Democrat, to me, those are bullshit terms to me. I don't even care about those terms. Conservatives and progressives is all I care about. People who are conservatives are the people who have brought you slavery, who have brought you Jim Crow, who have brought you women not being able to vote, who have brought you everything that pretty much keeps people down in this country. That's conservatives. Progressives are not keeping anybody down. They are having people get equality. They're having people be brought to the same level. And the people who have been privileged see that as being, put down. They see equality as being oppression for them because they've been at the top. So that's why I say they're not the same. They are not the same. Progressives and conservatives are definitely not the same. Now, do Democrats and Republicans play the same political games? Not sure they do, but that's politics. Yep. Those aren't platforms. Those are politics. And I will be running in 2028, just so you know.
Man.
I'm gonna get some water. Hold on.
The thing with me is that why can't the Democratic Party convince anybody, or why couldn't they in this last election? If they're so good, why can they not get that message across? Why is it so hard for these guys to message?
I think that they got comfortable.
They got comfortable, right? They have a block of voters, like I was saying earlier.
I think certain things were a certain way for so long. And
I don't know, man.
Because of that, I would say got complacent and they assumed that like the black vote, for instance. Like I personally, I felt like insulted by a lot of the, like, it was clear and utter pandering. And I'm like, come on, my head doesn't screw on and off. Like, you can't be serious. And I think they also pandered to the LGBTQIA community.
Wait, what are they supposed to do though?
As well.
What is the Democratic Party supposed to do
for us anyway? So, you know, fuck it. It's like, that's like, come on, that's I think just address the issue, like, kind of like how, like, it's like, oh, human rights, that kind of goes without saying. Like, we know that the Democrats care about that, so, like, it kind of goes without saying. Like, you shouldn't have to lay it on so incredibly thick. Like, some of the ads that I saw for both parties, you know, respectfully, but like some of the Democrat like ads were so tone deaf. It was like you gotta be kidding me. Like, you have to be kidding me. Like, especially like, you know, I think this past election, like, you know, they lost like there was a big shift with the men. You know, like, they completely lost just the regular average, just like dude. And that's the guy that leans left or right, you know, and it's like they completely lost. I would say like they were just completely out of touch and tone deaf. Completely out of touch. Like, with just regular average,
they lost a lot
normal.
They lost a lot of percentage of the black.
But wait, you guys are saying two different things though.
73% clip.
You guys are expecting two different things though. I keep hearing people say, "Oh, well, you know, people didn't like Kamala because, you know, her personality, blah 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 blah." Okay, but she was basically trying to run, you know, and Democrats typically try to run on the issues. They don't typically overdo it with, you know, the popularity contest. Once the primaries are over, they don't try to do the popularity contest shit. They generally, at least in recent history, that's been the case with Democrats. They try to run on the issues. But what you guys are saying is that, well, they gotta appeal to people. They gotta be a personality. So that's where your pandering and all your stupid shit comes from, because they're trying to do that, because they understand too that if we just have intelligent adult conversations about these complex issues, you're gonna lose more than half the people right from jump, because they don't have the brain
it didn't
power
seem like Harris knew
and
how
the
to have an
focus to
intelligent
sit there
conversation, to be
and
frank.
wait, say it again.
It didn't seem like she could necessarily, not that she's not intelligent, but like it was embarrassing, like, watching her campaign. Now, granted, she was in at the last minute, but like, it was like that was a completely that was a L. That is a L for the Democrats. Like, horrendous. There should have been a vote, and I do not think, like, she was the most
There
unpopular,
wasn't time.
even before the election. She's like one of the most unpopular vice VPs, like, in history. I mean,
Yeah,
other than
that's
fucking
actually not
Pence.
true.
Like she. I'm sorry. Like, objectively, she was
What was her
a
approval
horrible.
rating?
Like, and not
Yeah,
just like everything
that's
was
factually
like,
not
she
true,
seemed completely. I'm
What was her
I'm a
approval
regular
rating?
dude, and just watching it, I was like, you can't be serious.
I'll be honest, I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed with her.
But did either one of you go online and look at her full platform and see what her issues were?
Not at all.
Okay, then. So basically, you're basing your opinion on her personality.
Yes,
which is exactly what I'm talking about.
I knew what it was, but I knew what it was. I didn't read the full thing. I'm not gonna lie.
But what matters to you guys more? Somebody who, you know, again,
it doesn't matter what matters to me personally, Cisco. That's the thing. It's the
No,
people that
it
didn't
does.
vote for her. It's bringing in the people who didn't vote for her.
Okay,
That's
but
what I'm
right,
talking about.
here we go back to the
whole group of
pandering.
people
So
that they
if she would have pandered more, if she would have shucked and jived a little bit more, she would have gotten more people. What could she have done that would have appealed to more people to get to vote? Tell me what she could have done.
I don't know, but it's $1 billion. It's $1 billion. I can't tell you what's going to get somebody
more
else
could she
to
have
vote
done?
for her. But the
She
Democrats
literally
better
put her
figure it
platform out there for everyone to
the
see.
Democrats better figure it out, or they're going to lose again. This is what I'm saying. I want to see her run again. I hope she does better, but she can't just do what she did the last time and say, hey, it's you guys' fault. The fucking voters won't vote for me. You got to give them a reason to vote for you.
Wait,
you
know what the reason?
something.
The
You
whole
know what the reason
campaign
was to
was
vote for her?
don't vote for them,
So
don't
that
vote for
Trump
them,
wouldn't
don't
become
vote for
president.
them.
That alone was good enough reason. She could have been a turd and she would
See,
have still been a better option.
that's a bad
But it didn't
thing to run
happen
on.
though. He won. He
I think that's a
won.
bad
You
thing.
And
don't
like
you
I
don't have
said,
to like the
they
choice,
have to
guys. You don't
do
have to like the
something.
choice. But look, you don't have to like the choice. And this is the problem. Is everybody wants perfection on the Democratic side. Everybody wants perfection on the liberal
No.
progressive side, but they're willing to accept just a complete turd on this side. You can't have perfection, guys. You can't have it. If you got to choose between a turd and two turds to eat, you're not going to say, well, I don't know. I would vote for the one turd, but there's some peanuts in it, and I just don't like peanuts. You're going to eat two turds? Come on, guys. You can't have it both ways. You can't say I want
I think
somebody
it's
who's
stupid to
qualified,
vote for
but on the
someone
other
based
hand
off of who
say,
I
well, they
don't
need to
like
be
instead of the things I'm for.
popular, and I have to like them too.
That's
I don't care if
what
I like,
politics have become.
right, and that is the problem. That is
The
the
problem
problem.
is
A lot of
So
people
we
make their
just let
votes
it
based
go.
off of who they don't like.
the problem is you can't
I
just
don't see what's wrong with that.
blame. The problem is you cannot just keep blaming the electorate.
That's
You
foolish.
as the candidate have to do something different, or you're gonna get the same results.
What did she have to do though?
I don't know. I'm not a Democratic strategist.
So let me
They
tell
have
you
to
what she'd
figure
have
that
to do
out
differently.
and lay their
Let me tell you
platform
what
out
she'd have to
again.
do differently. Let me tell you what she'd have to do differently.
What?
Be a white
Be
man.
white, be a man. Like,
And that's not a reality. That's not a reality.
and they're gonna
So
lose
what else
again.
could she do? What else
And they're
could
gonna
she
lose
do?
again.
She put her whole platform out there for everyone to see. And like I said, if
Giant
it's
douche
choice
for
A or
turd
choice
sandwich.
B, if it's choice A or choice B, again, I agree with you. I don't think it's ideal for people to vote just because they don't want option B. Let's just vote for A. Of course, we don't. That's not the ideal, but that's the choice we were given this last election.
Yeah.
Choice A, choice B. Choice B is horrific, and that's been proven out over the last 18 months. Horrific. Okay, and we all knew that was coming. The ones who didn't vote for him all knew that was coming. So, yeah, maybe she wasn't a perfect candidate, but guess what? It beats the candidate who's doing the shit that they're doing right now, that we all knew was a convicted felon, was not a convicted, but a person that's civilly liable for rape, a guy who's bankrupted casinos. He can't even say he's good on the economy. A guy who he doesn't even know basic history. He thought there were airports during the Revolutionary War. What does Kamala Harris have to be perfect for when Trump can be all of those things and still get voted in? You guys are focusing on the wrong shit. You're focusing on, the system's broken. You're right, it is broken. But guess what? It's the system
That's
we
me
have
then making my
right
decision
now.
based off of
It's the
Yeah,
decision we have
but
to make right now with the system we have right now.
and if that's how the Democrats are gonna run in the next election, they're gonna win the midterms. We know. I
They're gonna
think
lose.
we know that. But the presidential election, they're going to lose if that's gonna be there, because that's exactly what they did the last time. Well, I'm not him. I'm not him. So vote for me. Just because I'm not him. And they had their platform out and they had a lot of good shit in there, but they couldn't drive eyes to it. They
Wait,
couldn't
real
drive
quick,
people to it, bro.
expat Adam saying always about the white man.
See
Adam,
that?
did you hear what I said
America.
earlier? How many non-white man presidents have we had in this country? One in the history of America, one non-white man. You're right. It is always about the white man. The white man has been in charge of this country from day one. It's not a racist thing to say that. It's a fact. And I don't have a problem with a white man running this country.
Fact.
What I have a problem with is a white man who is all of the things that Trump is running this country. Okay, I can disagree with George Bush, but I didn't think George Bush was a terrible human being. I think he made
There
some
you go.
terrible decisions as president, but he wasn't a terrible human being. I didn't think his dad was a terrible human being. I didn't even think Reagan was a terrible human being.
No.
Okay, Bill Clinton wasn't a terrible human being. I can disagree on certain things with each one of those people I just mentioned. They're all white men. I didn't have a primal hatred of any of those men. But Donald Trump, I have a primal hatred of that man. He is a terrible human being. He is the worst that America has to offer. He is all of the bad things about America rolled into a giant skin from fucking hot dog and a pumpkin head and just rolled out in front of America. And I know that that is not diplomatic, Blizzard, but I'm sorry, bro. That man is the worst America has to offer. The worst.
He's a horrible president. He's a horrible president.
Terrible. He's a terrible human being. He's a terrible human being.
Our constitutional frameworks are in jeopardy in this country, and he's pushing and testing each one he can. He's figuring out how he can get the most power he can. And it's sad to see the state of America, but we're here. We're here. You can't go back, and you can't run the same campaign that you ran the last time. I'm hoping that the Democrats put up a good candidate, one that could win, one that's not going to come up here and just pander. But pander, I don't know. People get paid millions and millions of dollars to figure this shit out. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't getting none of it. You know?
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at these comments, bro. These comments are wild.
Too. I see you too, bro.
The Democrats have a good candidate. I'd vote Democrat again. If it's
they had a good candidate. It was Kamala Harris was a good candidate. She was a great candidate. She just wasn't winning the popularity contest. That was the problem with Kamala Harris.
I don't know. If she had time, maybe she had more time. Then
you put her qualifications up against any other person who's run for president of this country. She's in the top 2 or 3 people.
Don't make you
as far as qualifications go.
Don't make you a good politician though.
You're right. It doesn't make a good candidate because the majority of Americans can't read above a 6th grade level.
I didn't see her run for Senate or anything, or how she campaigned or nothing like that. I seen her during the presidential election, the first one, when Biden won. And that's where I really like, oh, Kamala Harris.
Her name's Kamala, by the way. I'm just saying.
Kamala. I mean, people say my name
Kamala.
And you don't like it, bro. You don't like it.
I don't care no more. I used to care, but now it's just like
I just feel like, you know, again, you guys are
I gotta go, guys. It was a good talk.
All right, bro. Hey, thanks for coming up, man.
Hey, brother, what was your name? What was his name again?
It says Spro.
How do you say your name, man?
Hold on.
Hello?
I think he bounced. Let me drop him down. It says Spro right there. It was saying Spro in the comment section.
Okay.
So
yeah, good talking to you,
I hope you
man.
come back one day, man.
Yeah, definitely.
There you go. You dropped down. But yeah, man, I just think it's at the end of the day, it's politics, and you have to be able to win elections. That's it. Like I'm always gonna lean, like I said, towards the left, but it doesn't mean that I'm automatically gonna vote for the candidate on the left. You know, just because
you shouldn't. That way. And you shouldn't.
You got to convince people. Some people I know people, you're never gonna. This America, you're never gonna convince some people to vote left, to vote for a black person, to vote for a woman. We know that. But the ones out there, you can't push them away by focusing on certain topics that, some Americans still ain't comfortable with. And by that, I mean abortion, LGBTQ. There's some people that would absolutely vote that way. And you know the community I come from, Cisco. Like, we still getting around. There's still an issue floating around in our community about LGBTQ. Not me personally. I raised a LGBTQ child. So I don't have an issue with it, but I'm not going to act like it's not still an issue in our community. It is.
And that's a problem. And that's a problem.
But it's the problem that these people have to navigate around because they're politicians. They're supposed to be our leaders. Supposedly.
But tell me though, what real meaningful change ever happened in this country, okay, without people being fucking pulled and dragged, kicking and screaming to get them to do the right thing? What meaningful? Look at civil rights in this country. It didn't just happen because, let's just get along, guys. Let's just do some marches and, sing Kumbaya and we shall overcome and everything will just happen. No, that's not why change came. Change came when people literally put all of this stuff, the ugliness of America, into America's face and said, look this is what is going on in your country. Dogs getting sicked on people, fire hoses being thrown on people, people being hung, people being burned, people being dragged by cars. And people were all the time saying, I don't think that children should be exposed to that. I don't think they should be showing that on the news. And I just don't. And what about the people who were in their ancestors were in the Civil War? What about their feelings? Fuck all that. Fuck their feelings. As much as they like to say that, they sure don't like to live it. Look, you have to pull people sometimes, drag them to what is right. Okay. And we could all make the argument, well, what if they did? They have been from the very beginning. They've been dragging people into slavery, dragging people into Jim Crow, dragging people into, no, you can't vote. No, you can't have equal rights. They've been doing that. Okay. You don't get people to do the right thing sometimes by being diplomatic. Sometimes you got to be in people's face. Sometimes you got to, tell the facts of what they are. You got to show them the ugliness. There's a lot of people in this country who are very good people who are just ignorant to what the ugliness of this country really is. And it's not their fault completely because they don't get educated on it and they don't see it every day because they don't live in those communities and they aren't treated that way. It's not their fault. But once you do see it, if you're okay with it, it is your fault. Or if you don't do nothing about it, it is your fault. And I just don't think that, saying stuff like, well, you don't win elections by, telling how ugly it is. No, you don't make change by not telling how ugly it is. You have to show the ugliness. You have to tell the truth. Otherwise, we are just falling into a time where, we're just playing these stupid popularity games. We are going to pander to people because that's all people understand. We're living in idiocracy times. The majority of people can't read above a sixth grade level.
That's fucked
does
up.
Does that make anybody think, what the fuck? Come on, man. That's who our electorate is.
That's America, though. That's America. That's under both parties. That's fucking America, bro. That's America I grew up knowing, though. I didn't grow up believing in this fucking fairy tale dream that everybody seems to be looking at. And I'm like, what the hell have y'all been looking at? I've seen this shit my whole life. This is America. Like, for people to act like it was some fucking yellow brick road. Like, no, it's never been a yellow brick road in America. This is
for some people. It's either been a yellow brick road or it's been close to a yellow brick road, though, and it's hard for them to understand that for everybody it's not. And I want to say, like, I think almost every time I come up here, the things that I'm saying, I don't, especially when it comes to race, I don't personally myself, I believe races are a bunch of bullshit. I don't even believe in races. I think there's just human beings. We have maybe different cultures. We have different backgrounds, but every individual is different. And race is just a bullshit construct, first of all. But I understand that most people use that language. And so for me to speak to people in a language that they understand, I have to use that same bullshit language for them to understand what I'm saying. So when I'm talking about, and I'll say Adam specifically, when I'm saying that we've only had one non-white male president in this country, again, that's not a racist statement. That's a fact. That's literally all we've had. And I'm not even saying
that. I ain't gonna front. I like Adam, but come on.
No, I like Adam too. No, I think Adam's a good dude too. But he did say
blacks were better off before civil rights movement. So and I ain't never gonna forget
that. That's just an ignorant statement.
You did say that, bro.
But that's an ignorant statement. But I understand, just like you were saying earlier, I understand why Adam says that, though.
You don't know. You don't.
Right. And I understand why he's saying that. And if I could sit down and have a whole afternoon conversation with him, I don't even know if it would be solved, but I think it would pull him further towards where I'm coming from. Because again, I think when you're not exposed to things, you don't know about them. I don't think that he's been exposed to the full history of African American, Black, whatever you want to call it, people in this country and their full history. So, and that's most Americans, Black, white, anything else. Most Americans are very poorly educated when it comes to that. And it's not just black people. You could say the same thing about any other minority group. And by the way, there's a lot of quote unquote white people that came to this country who were mistreated too. Okay. Nothing to the scale that, chattel slavery was, nothing like that.
Yeah.
But, there were people who were not looked at, as white enough, or they were looked at as, shit because they came from Ireland or Italy. We all understand. I think most people understand this. Okay. So it's not that everybody's had, like you said, the yellow brick road. Everybody hasn't had that, but there is one particular group who's been as close to a yellow brick road as you can possibly have, who's been in power the whole time in this country. And now that other people are trying to take part in that power and in all the success that this country has, those particular people have a segment, not all of them, but they have a segment of their population who don't want it, who don't want that equality for everybody. They just want to keep that power all of themselves. And that 25% of people, those are the ones that are keeping us all underwater right now. And those are the people who I don't want to have commonalities with them. I don't want to have commonalities with them. I want those people to, I'm not going to say I want what I want with those people. All I'm going to say is as long as those people exist in this country, we are going to continue to have these same problems that we have, period.
Yeah. The numbers show a black woman can win. I think
Can
so.
win.
I hope she runs again. Well, it'll be a proper primary, and whoever wins wins. And I hope it's just a good candidate, one that's gonna get my vote. Like, even though I live in Connecticut, it's gonna go blue anyway, but I'm still gonna fucking vote. You know what I mean? I'm still gonna vote, and I don't see voting for JD Vance if he's gonna be the one that runs. Yeah, dummies are in demand.
Hey, real quick, and again, I'm reading what Adam. I'm reading what Adam's saying. First, Adam never said anything about it was racist about being a president, but he implied that what I was saying, was somehow either racist or I'm making it all about the white man. And my point was literally that only white men have been president until we got Obama. It is always about a white man. So I don't know what the problem was with what I said, and then the other thing was, which again just confirms for me, what his understanding is. He says, I understand history of slavery starting with their own country. That right there tells me he does not have a very good grasp of what the history of slavery is in this country. Because again, were there slaves in West Africa where most of Black Americans' ancestry comes from, West Africa? Yes, there was slavery there, but the type of slavery that was going on in West Africa was very different than the chattel slavery that was going on in America. Slaves, in West Africa were more like the slaves in the Bible, where a slave could be a quote unquote slave for a certain amount of time, right? 7 years, right? Typically, however long it was. And then they could earn their freedom and they could literally become a contributing member of society on equal status with everyone else. In fact, they could even become the leader of a tribe, even though they've been a slave. That was the kind of slavery, right? That was the kind of slavery that was going on in Africa. Okay. The slavery that was going on in America was very different. You're a slave for life. Your kids are slaves for life. You will never, ever have anything close to equality with anyone who is not a slave. That's two different types of slavery. And most Americans do not understand this. And so when they hear, well, there was slavery in Africa too, they equate those two things as being equal, and they are not.
Yeah.
So that alone shows me that he still needs to learn some things.
That's another one. The Irish were slaves. Yeah, the Irish were indentured servants.
Which is different than slavery.
It's a lot different, where your lineage is perpetual slavery. Basically, at that point, if I was a slave, my grandkids would be a slave. My great-great-grandkids would be a slave. That was wrong. And even if a woman got pregnant by the master, the kid was going to be a slave.
And here's the other thing. A child of Irish immigrants or a great grandchild of Irish immigrants could fully acclimate into mainstream white society, and nobody would ever know that their parent or grandparent was an indentured servant or whatever. They were just now white. Whereas the children of African slaves, they could not, acclimate into society and just blend right in, because the color of their skin, their features, their hair texture prevented that from happening. So again, it's a completely different thing. Not to say that there were.
See, let me say something. Adam, don't take it personal, bro. He's not talking about you. You don't need to defend all white men in America. He's talking about the majority of people who have held power in America. And we know that that is white men. Like, I don't understand what's the pushback from. Like, the majority of our presidents have been white men. The majority of people in power right now are white men in Congress, in the Senate, in local governors, CEOs of businesses in America right now. The majority of people in power is white men. So I don't understand like what the problem was saying that these are the people that have been in power. And if there's going to be problems, like you were saying earlier, you was like the white hats, the little hats or whatever. I'm like, why y'all always blaming the little hats or the blacks or the immigrants? You guys are in control. Like, you don't want to give it up, but you don't want to take the blame for anything that happens. And I'm not talking about you personally. I'm not talking about you personally. He didn't say anything about Adam when he first made that comment.
And I would say too, he says, who freed slaves in America? Well, I'll answer that question in a couple of different ways. Legally, okay, it was put into place by the US government, which was pretty much all white men. Okay. So the same group of people who were making slavery exist since the beginning, and the people who were perpetuating slavery from the beginning, okay, that same race of people, that same group and class of people, yes, ultimately, people from that same group, class, race, whatever you want to call it, were responsible for legally ending slavery. Hey, bravo. There are actually some people who are white who got it, who understood that it was wrong. Some of our founding fathers, right? Some of the founding fathers of America knew that slavery was wrong, and they knew that it was a terrible system. Did they still partake in it? Of course they did, but they knew it was wrong and they didn't want it to exist. And again, I'm not saying all white people wanted slavery or all white people even had slaves, but all white people, for the most part, okay, benefited from slavery to a greater degree than anyone else in this country. Now,
see, that's
again,
the different thing. They weren't selling their people into chattel slavery. They were selling them into indentured servitude, which is a totally different thing. Chattel slavery wasn't even a thing when the first enslaved people were brought to America. I don't know if you knew that or you ever researched that, how the way slavery worked in America actually changed over time. They were white and black, even though they were on different levels, but they were white and black slaves working together. One was indentured, they kept rebelling with each other. They rebelled with each other. Then they were separated. There were a lot of free black people in America back in the days.
Well, here's the thing too. It's irrelevant to me. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that the Africans who were selling other Africans into slavery to the Europeans knew exactly what they were doing. Knew exactly. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that's the case. What the hell does that have to do with anything about what we're talking about? Again, I'm not saying these things to blame white people, and I think that's what a lot of people hear when they hear these facts coming out of my mouth. But he's blaming white people. No, I'm not blaming white people. What I'm saying is the fact of the matter is that slavery existed in America because white men wanted it to exist. That is not an indictment on white men. It is just a fact. And you're right, Adam. There were a shitload of white people, quote unquote, white people who had to resist that, who had to fight against it, who had to speak up, who had to put their lives on the line all the way through the civil rights movement. There were white people who were hung and murdered because they were fighting for civil rights. So when I'm talking about this stuff, understand that I'm not indicting white people. I'm just telling you facts. And again, what happened in Africa? That's Africa. I don't live in Africa. I live in America. The history of Africa is only important to me insofar as it affects me today, right now, because I can't speak to what goes on over there because I'm living what happens here. And it's this country that I have the history of this country that I have to live with every single day. But if I have to say it plainly, yes, there are some good white people. There are some bad black people.
Amazing.
I mean, does that make you feel better? I mean, I don't want feelings to be hurt. I think that goes without saying. It goes without saying.
Like the majority of the enslaved people that ended up in America weren't even brought over here on the ships. Yeah,
they were born here.
They were born here, and they the crazy thing, I don't know, Adam should know this, that they actually had breeding farms for African Americans, for FBAs, for black people, whatever you want to. I don't really care what you call us tonight. I identify as FBA, but they actually had breeding farms, and the things that happened on those farms were horrible. They were horrible, Adam. Like, there's no justification if you really go back and look at the history like we have. That's why we talk about it, because it is our history. In America, a lot of people in America wants to act like it's not part of their history too. They don't take the time to go back and study what really happened. They'll listen to what ever happened in history class that they learn in history class, and they think they know something about it. No, if you're going to talk about it, if you really want to understand the history of America, you cannot understand the history of America without understanding what happened during slavery, bro.
And if you really want to learn, something, Adam, I would challenge you to just forget whatever bullshit, misinformation you may have heard about it. Look into the 1619 Project. Go online, go to the website for the 1619 Project, and I'm not going to tell you exactly what you need to do. Just go to the website and start looking at stuff. Start following some links. Start reading some of the information that they have there. Okay, it will break down to a greater degree, to a more detailed degree than what we can give you here, a more factual, and they can cite exactly where they're getting information from, which I can't do here.
Yeah.
Read about it. Educate yourself more. Educate yourself more about it if it matters to you. If you felt in your chest some kind of way about the things that I'm saying, and if you think that there's even the slightest possibility that I could be right in the things that I'm saying, I challenge you, go check that out. The 1619 Project. Look that up. Don't look at the Fox News commentary about it. Go to the actual website for the 1619 Project. I can't remember the young woman's name who, God, I know her name and I can't think of it. It's on the tip of my tongue. She's the one that's behind it. Go to her website, read about it, because I'm telling you right now, there's a lot more that you need to understand about it that you don't even know that you don't know. That's all I'm saying about it.
Yeah, my bad. I got us off topic.
Yeah,
way off topic. But
see, this is why I can't run for president. This is why I can't run for president, because I'd be pissing people off by saying shit like this.
Don't worry, man. By the time you get your donors and all that, they'll tell you exactly what to say.
I'm gonna scrub the internet from all this stuff.
They'll tell you exactly what to say, man.
Hey, I'll have Adam as my running mate. I'm sure to win now.
Yeah, man. Bunch of comments. Like I never I'm gonna read some of these comments, bro. Like I said, I appreciate you coming up here. If you got more time, you want to stay up here.
Well, I didn't come up. No, I didn't come up initially because you had said, "Hey, I'd like to get some different people." I agree. I think we need, some different people to come up. I would love to have more people come up. What's his name, Spro? That's cool that he came up, man. I've never even seen that dude in this chat before, and for him to come up, and he may have been here before. I just didn't realize, but for him to come up, man, that was awesome. And I didn't agree with some of the stuff he said, but he was like Joseph. He seemed like somebody who, he had opinions. And he was, kind of maybe not the most nuanced about a lot of the things that he was saying, but he had opinions. And I think he sounded like somebody who would be willing to listen and willing to learn and had some important, intelligent things to say. So, yeah, you need more people like that to come up here. I can't I can't come up here all the time. Adam can't come up here all the time. BIY can't come up here all the time. We need more people to come up here and say stuff.
More people, man. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna keep asking. I'm gonna keep doing what I do. If I gotta be up here by myself, and I appreciate you guys. I absolutely do. I'm not saying I don't want y'all to come up. If I gotta do it by myself, well, I can rock out by myself, man. I don't know if y'all get bored of seeing this ugly face, but it is what it is. Life Without Limits. Salute, bro. I know I didn't get a chance to say what up to you, bro. What up, bro? Life Without Limits Worldwide. He said, if I wasn't at work, I for sure would come up. Yeah, and we'll just keep it popping. But see, Adam. Slavery is wrong.
Come on, what's up, brother?
I don't want to stay on this topic of slavery. We all could learn from each other. Thank you, T. Marsh. We all could. We definitely could, man. But are we willing to? Are we actually willing to listen?
Well, I do want to recognize what Adam said. Hey, man. Okay. Hey, we agree. We all agree on that. Slavery is wrong, period. Doesn't matter who's doing it. Doesn't matter how it's done. It doesn't matter to what level it is. It's wrong. But I think we can all agree there's a difference between grabbing a woman's butt and raping her. Those are two completely different things. They're both a sexual assault, but they're two completely different things. And, they're not all at the same level. Okay. And so to me, the level to which the United States inflicted slavery upon Africans was, without a doubt, the worst type of slavery that has ever existed in the history of the world. Hands down. That's a historical fact. There's never been the level and to the degree that slavery was institutionalized in this country has never been that way in any other country in the world, in the history of the world. America is the only one that has had it that way. I don't know why, but I can tell you why. And it wasn't because of racism. It was because of economics. But that's a whole other argument. We're going to move to a new topic now.
Yeah, it's just a lot. It's easy to say, oh, it was 160 years ago, but that's ignoring a lot of other history and what came behind that. And I can't, if a person is just willfully not willing to go research and learn something, what am I going to do about it? I'm not going to argue and fight with them. It just is what it is.
I'll argue and fight with them. Because I want people to learn. And I'm not saying I'm the most educated person, because I'm not. I had a semester and a half of junior college. That's how far I got. Wasn't because I was dumb. Wasn't because I was lazy. It was because my mindset was not focused on college. And for the people that get through 4 years of college and above, I salute you, man. I give you all the praise. But I will say that I want people to get more educated. I want people to learn more. The knowledge that I got from my own self going out beyond high school. I went out, I bought books, I read books. I watched, documentaries. I watched TED Talks. I like to learn. And that if you don't have that in you, it's very hard. It's very hard to learn something new.
Yeah, let me read this because my bad, AJ. I don't know how I missed this. AJ with the gifted
AJ
Blizzard Abroad
balling, man. Look at AJ.
membership. I don't know when this was. I just happened to see 3 things in the stars. So I was like, oh shit, what I missed. But salute to you, bro. I appreciate it, man. That membership getting deep. So hey, don't forget to check y'all the notifications for the memberships. I'm gonna drop like some videos in there, some music, like the song from earlier, the intro to the stream. I dropped that in there. I think it's a pretty cool song. If you missed it, go back and listen to it, man. It's
We're
basically
boring,
how I feel
Russ.
about politics. You know what I mean? I know Russ went to sleep on us. I'm good at that, man. I heard that. I got a voice for that, man. I've been told that, man. I put
No,
people to
it's
sleep.
what, 1 o'clock in the morning over there where you're at, right?
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, that's late.
So some of us are self-taught, educated. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Like I said, I'm doing internet online classes. It's college, but it's online. If I'm not motivated, it ain't gonna fucking get done. So you gotta be motivated to be self-taught, man.
Some of the books I've read, some of the shit that I've learned, yeah, I wouldn't even bring it up here because it would just blow people away.
Yeah.
Stuff that, I mean, I know. And again, I'm not gonna say like I'm not the smartest person in the world or anything like that, but I've read some books that I have so much trouble wrapping my head around the ideas that are in them. And there's some books I've read 2 or 3 times, and I still can't quite grasp exactly what's being, what they're trying to convey. But I know that it's important, and I know that it's something that I need to learn. So I keep trying. So yeah, man, it's hard. And that's why most people don't do it. And again, that's why
Yeah.
most Americans don't read above a 6th grade level. Our education system is failing people. I think we can all agree on that.
Out-
Who doesn't agree with
yeah,
that? Who doesn't agree with
absolutely.
that?
Absolutely. 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 If these kids, they're not trying to convince the kids to learn anymore. Like if you don't want to learn, you ain't getting taught. So the kids that are successful are the kids that have your type of attitude. But you gotta have that attitude at fucking 8, 9 years old.
That's
You know
hard,
what I mean?
man.
Or you just not gonna learn. You just gonna slip through the cracks. And that's happening more and more and more. It's
Especially with
sad.
social media. With social media out now, I didn't have social media. You and I, we didn't have social media growing up. We didn't have that competing, uh, thing to take our attention away from, bettering ourselves and learning. I mean, social media is really powerful. I mean, you can use it to learn a lot of things, but unfortunately, it's more of a fucking hellhole. There's so much misinformation and fake shit out there now. The AI is just getting ridiculous, man. I see
Oh
stuff,
yeah.
even, my mom will send me stuff. I'm like, Mom, this is AI. It's
Everything's
like,
AI.
God dang, man. Like,
Everything, bro.
I don't even like looking at it.
I
I
don't
will
care what
fight
it
that
is.
shit
If
to
I
the
see
end.
it, unless it's from somebody I know, like somebody actually within our circle, it's AI to me. I don't care. Like that's just what I assume nowadays. It's like go
It's
check it
gonna
4,
be.
5, 6 places. eh, it just is what it is, man. AJ said AJ not balling. I'm trying to get Blizzard the broad pockets. Shit. You don't want these pockets, man. These
And
pockets
AJ, you're
the US,
balling, man.
man.
You're living worldwide, man. You're living the lifestyle I want to live, man. You're balling to me.
Far from perfect, not knowing everything. Yeah, Adam. That's why we appreciate you being here, man. Like we gonna push back, but it is what it is. Government is in control of public education. Yeah, and it sucks. It acts because they want to fight fucking wars. They want to got money for wars, but can't feed the poor.
Yeah. And I want to say one last
I
thing to Adam.
see.
I want to say one last
Okay,
thing to
let
Adam.
me read this real quick. Let
Oh
me
yeah,
read
yeah.
this real
Go ahead.
quick. I've been missing Icy, so she in here now. So
I know.
also be careful with how we get facts. Learn how to look for reference, cross-reference it, and if anybody wants to share something, be smart. And if it's wrong and fake info, correct it respectfully. There we go. Yep.
Or disrespectfully.
All right,
No,
go ahead, bro.
I want to say to Adam, this doesn't just go to Adam. This goes to anybody. Um, I respect your right to have an opinion, and I respect, your right to have to say that opinion and to speak it. I would never I would never try to take away somebody's right to speak their opinion. But with that being said, I also want Adam and everyone else to understand when I can disrespect your opinion, but still respect you as a person. It's two different things. Don't get
Yeah.
so wrapped up about your opinions, with yourself, that you take me tearing your opinions up or disrespecting your opinions as me tearing you up and disrespecting you, because it's two different things. You can, like, AJ said, he made the comment about indoctrinating LGBTQ. I understand where he's coming from. I understand what he's trying to say. I don't agree with it, but I understand what he's trying to say. And I don't take it personally. I don't think AJ hates the gays. I don't think maybe he does. I don't know. But I don't assume that. No, but I'm saying I don't
I would
assume that
never
about
know.
him. I don't think he does, but
Yeah.
I don't assume that about him just based on that opinion. It's his opinion, and his opinion is going to differ than my opinion, and I'm fine with that. I don't take it personally. Now, if he says, "Oh, Cisco, you're a piece of shit," okay, now we're on a different level, and if I say things like, "Hey, if you support Trump, you're a moron and you're a piece of shit," I mean that shit, and if you take that personally, then so be it,
Just say,
because
just take
I,
it
it
personally, right?
because it is to me, it's a factual thing. I don't see how you can support somebody who's done all the things that he's done as a person and as a president and not be one of those things that I mentioned before. I'm sorry. You can take that
Do you
person all day
think
long.
do you think America is gonna bounce back? Like we've bounced back from other shit before. Do you think, or is he just laying the pathwork for us to eventually have a dictator?
I don't know what you mean by bounce back. Bounce back to what?
I mean, I think the economy will bounce back. But I don't know. We still gonna have a 6-3 Supreme Court. Uh, he still pushed the boundaries, like the way he writes executive orders. You don't think, and it didn't start with him. The executive orders did absolutely did not start with him, but the way he writes them, he rules from them, he governs from executive orders. You don't think the next president is going to do the same thing, whether it's Democrat or Republican?
Well, they complained about Obama doing it, which
Yeah,
is funny. I mean,
yeah.
Trump cried all day long about him playing golf. He cried all day about him doing executive orders. And then what has he done? He's done more executive orders than anybody. And I don't even think executive orders is really the issue. I mean, it just depends on what the executive order is. I don't have a problem with presidents making executive orders if it's something that's rational and reasonable. But the issue
Yeah,
is,
but
we,
shit.
but yeah, the stuff he's doing is way out there. It's Project 2025 shit. Oh, and go look that up too if you really want to learn some weird shit about what's going on in this country and why Trump is doing the things he's doing. Project 2025 is a big part of it. And to be honest with you, I think Project 2025, it originated in Russia. To be honest with you, but we won't even get into that. But I'll say that you know America is not going to bounce back. And that's why I said bounce back to what? Because ever since the Civil War, there's been an undercurrent of people in this country who don't want things to progress. They want things to stay the way that they were. Thus, they are called conservatives. They want things to stay the same. They don't want progress, which progress leads to equality. Progress leads to more freedoms for more people. And thus, you have people who are progressives. And so America is not going to bounce back. The best that we can hope for in this country right now is that those people go back into their holes and crawl in the ground again, and they're not in the day-to-day
Oh, well,
psyche of the rest of us.
so
But even then, they're still there.
Gavin Newsom runs and wins. Kamala Harris runs and wins. Whoever, Mayor Pete runs and wins. Do you think that if they implement their platform, that America will bounce back? Basically,
I don't even see how, again, with all the gerrymandering that's going on, with all these red states.
economy,
I mean,
economy,
the the economy.
divisiveness.
Yeah, no, the economy, like you said, the economy is going to go up and down regardless.
Yeah,
That's going to be what it's going to be. Historically and factually, Democrats are better with the economy.
yeah,
Conservative Republicans, whatever you want to call them, they always run on the economy. They always run on fiscal, blah, blah, blah. They're the worst. They're the fucking worst. And that's a fact. There's no arguing about that. They are the best thing for rich people, millionaires and billionaires, and that's it. They're not good for anybody else. But they've convinced enough people that are, like I said, not the most sophisticated political minds to vote for them because they use all the culture war shit to pull people to their side. That's what they do, and that's what they've done. But it's if Gavin Newsom or Pete Buttigieg or whoever, if they get pulled in there, they're only going to be able to do what they're allowed to do. People get mad about Obama. Well, I thought he was going to do it. What did you think he was going to do? The president, prior to Trump, all presidents pretty much followed a certain narrow protocol of being the president. I mean, there was a couple people that went outside the lines here and there, but I mean, and they all do, to be honest. But nobody has gone way the fuck out in the field like Trump has. So the next president that comes in, the only thing that I'm really worried about is whoever it is, whether it's a Democrat, Republican, whatever, how are they going to come back within that narrow lane again? And if they
No.
do, what does that even mean? Because with the way Congress is just so shitty. The Supreme Court is just so shitty that a president who stays in that narrow lane, he's going to basically have no power at all whatsoever. You know, it's just going to be whatever party controls Congress and the Supreme Court, they're going to run shit. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's
Like
what
I said,
I
I
meant.
don't.
That's what I meant when I asked, like, or did he lay the groundwork for us to eventually have a dictator that can rule through executive orders? Because that's basically the next president, Republican or Democrat, would be a fool not to follow his fucking footwork. I don't want it to happen, but I just know the nature of people in politics. Like, it's the nature of people in politics. If a Democrat for a far left guy goes in there, guess what? He's gonna implement the platform through executive orders. Like, it's crazy, bro. But I ain't gonna stay up here too much longer, man. I'm actually not feeling good. I haven't been feeling good all day. So let me come up here, do this live stream. Got a ton of shit to do tomorrow. I got a funeral and my granddaughter's birthday party tomorrow, which is just life and death. You know what I mean? Talk about the 360. Man. Talk about the 360. You know?
Happy birthday to your granddaughter. Happy early birthday to her, man. That's awesome. How old is she gonna be?
7.
7. Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep. Made me a granddaddy at 41 years old, man.
Wow. Yeah, man. Yeah, my grandson, he'll be 1 in August. And it is a trip, man. It's definitely a trip. And that was one of the things I was gonna ask that guy Spro earlier when he said he was black pill. I had heard that term, but I didn't know exactly what it meant. That's why I asked him, like, what does that mean even? So to my understanding, what he said was it's basically like a apathetic, I don't give a shit attitude, I guess. And I think the only people who can have that attitude,
like nihilistic.
I think nihilistic. Like nihilistic. Yeah, definitely. But I think the only people who can really feel that way are people without children. If you've got children, I don't see how you can feel that way. If you got grandchildren, I don't see how you can feel that way. So maybe if he has a kid, he won't feel that way. I don't know. Look at Ray Shard. Yeah. What's really going on?
Yeah, salute. But yeah, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Thank you as always, bro. We gotta do this more. We're gonna do this once a month. Once a month is here. Politics, man. You want to come up? You're absolutely welcome. Don't wait for nobody else. Like, fuck that. I appreciate you on this platform.
Who's sniffing like a cokehead? Thomas says somebody's sniffing like a cokehead,
man. It's me, man. I'm sick, man. I think you talking about me. I've been sick.
Wait, are you sick like Pookie from New Jack City? Are you that kind of sick?
Nah. It's the annual springtime cold.
Hey, I thought of you yesterday, man. I saw this video, I think it was Instagram. It was talking about how East Coast dudes are starting to use West Coast lingo. And it was this dude talking, is like, hey, yo, hey, son, what's going on, man? So they're going back and forth with the East Coast lingo. And then at one point, the dude says something like, and that's on the dead homies. And it was like, wait, what? What'd you just say? So I just wanted to ask you, man, do you ever put stuff on the dead homies? Do you ever do
Never.
that? Like, you know, that is a West Coast thing.
Never in my life, man. I'm on my mama, though. On my mama.
We all do that, though. Okay, then your East Coast card is still intact then.
On the dead homies, nah.
It's on dead homies right there.
Yeah, Midwest, West Coast, yeah.
Definitely different lingo.
But nah, I appreciate you, bro. Let me get ready to get out of here, man.
Said no more
When's the
politics,
next live
please.
stream? When's your next live stream?
Oh yeah, so well, I'm working on getting monetized, so I'm trying to get my hours up. So I'm doing more live streams. The live streams I'm doing are kind of like I do Uber Eats. So I'm trying to do it when I'm getting some orders, because I like watching stuff like that. I don't know if you ever like checked it out on YouTube, like some of these Door Dashers and stuff. It's kind of interesting to me. That's what kind of got me into it. So I figured, oh, other people might be interested in this. But what it's turning into is just basically me and people having conversations, and I'm just sitting there because I don't get no damn orders in this area where I'm at. But I just do it whenever, man. I don't have like a schedule, and a lot of my people, my subscribers and people that I support and are friends with on YouTube, outside of this community are mostly from the Philippines. So, I try to respect. There's certain people I try to respect when their lives are on, and I only try to go try to fit in a window where they're not necessarily on. So it just whenever it is when it is. But yeah, but anybody wants to check out the channel, check it out. I don't get into politics. I say that for Blizzard's channel. I don't get into religion. I don't get into any hot topics other than Uber Eats, and that's about it. And talking about just our channel.
All right.
So
So
yeah,
when's the
check it
next
out.
one? Tomorrow? You got it planned or just you don't know
It
yet?
might be. Jen went up. She went up north to her mom's house for Mother's Day weekend. So it's gonna be me here for the next couple of days. So yeah, I don't know. I'll probably do some little live stream or some Uber live stream, something like that.
All right,
But
man.
yeah, I
Looking
mean,
forward
anybody
to it.
wants
If
to
I
check it
can
out,
catch it,
check it out.
definitely try to catch it, man. It's interesting. And it's you got a good personality, so it fits you. So
I appreciate it, man. Not everybody feels that way.
definitely, man. All right, brother. I'll see you then,
All right,
man.
bro.
Thank you. Thank you again,
Hey,
man.
and again, I just want to say, I respect everybody who's. I said there was one individual who I don't fuck with at all in any way, shape, or form. Who I saw in the chat. Other than that person, everybody I've seen here, I respect. And I hope that you don't take my disagreement with your opinions as disrespecting you. I will disrespect the hell out of your opinions. Please don't take it personally. Feel free to do the same to mine, but let's do it in a way that we're doing it based on facts. Let's do it based on reality. Let's not do it just based on feelings and I feel icky about it. Let's talk. Let's have real reality based conversations. But please don't take anything I say personally directed towards you, unless it has to do with Trump. If you support Trump, no, I'm not gonna get into it. But that's all I want to say, man. But thank you, Blizzard, once again for letting me come up, man. I appreciate you for having this platform, because it's nice to be able to say the things that we all say in this chat and on the panel. So I appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely, bro. See you around, man. No doubt.
All right.
Hopefully,
All right. Hope you feel better.
work
And happy
tomorrow,
birthday to your granddaughter, man.
Thank you, bro.
And my condolences to your friend or family member too, man. Sorry to hear. I just had a friend pass away a couple days ago too, so it's hard, man.
Absolutely appreciate that, man. All right, that was Cisco. So salute to him for coming up, man. I appreciate that, brother. Always one that shows up for me, for the community. Like I said, man, I appreciate it. We don't agree on everything, but one thing we absolutely agree on is that we can be civil about what we don't agree on. And that's all you can ask. That's all you can ask. I've never tried to change his mind. How many times he's been up here? He's never tried to change my mind. If we could do that, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with it. I don't need to change nobody's mind. I don't need nobody to agree with me. I'm just living my life, gaining experiences, and I'm sharing them with you, sharing my insight with you. If you agree, you agree. If you rock with me, you rock with me. If not, it is what it is, man. And we're going to do this politics stream once a month. That's it. Because like I said earlier, politics was always bleeding into every conversation we had. We come up here and talk about positivity, politics comes up. come up here and talk about 5 things young men need to do to have a better life, and politics comes up, religion comes up. I'm not afraid to have the conversation. I absolutely have the conversation, especially on an open panel. When I say, hey, guys, come here, talk about anything you want. So if you bring up politics, I'm going to discuss it. Like I've never backed down for that. I've never shied away from that. I'm not going to start, but it is nice to, just have a conversation about politics, and honestly, I'm glad Cisco came up. I'm glad I forgot the other guy's name already. I'm glad he came up. My apologies. I'm getting old, but I'm glad because I thought as much as we have these conversations, I thought a lot more people would come up. But it is what it is. It still was a good conversation for me. And I don't mind doing it by myself. I could hold it down by myself if I have to. But it's always nice hearing other people's opinion that's just not typed out in the chat. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get through these last comments I got, and then I'm gonna get up out of here because, like I said, I got stuff to do. Busy day tomorrow. Maybe the right word is ignorant. Juice says they're scared of Trump. Expat overseas says our entire government is crappy. I believe it's heading that way. Thomas, well, maybe don't want to get to know me. I like other foreign better. Sydney Shaw, salute and thank you for being active in the chat. I know it's hard when we got somebody up on the screen, but when it's just me, I try to read every comment. So Sydney Shaw says, hell no, if the Democrats push Kamala for president again, it's an automatic loss. Moreover, both parties are part of the same state. I agree with, I don't know, man. I don't know. I got to see. I'm not going to say right out of hand either way. Sniffing like a cokehead. Don't get too personal. Okay, yes, call it that way. Tom is uninformed. So for Democrats have always been cold. They started 1865 when the KKK was born. Yeah, I mean, people always say that Democrats was the party of the slave owners and the KKK, but we all know that it shifted, that the party shifted. We all know that the party shifted, and then I find it funny everyone thought I was upset. No, nobody thought you was upset. We just having a conversation, man. Dummy and ignorant is kind of hard. See, some people, I don't know. Some people, they just don't like certain words, and they're just words. But at the end of the day, if you was brought up where a certain word is just bad to say to a person, like the word itself is not bad. The word itself is not bad. It's just the context behind it. Like stupid, for example. For me, it was my community. It was stupid. You don't call someone intentionally, call someone stupid. In other cultures and backgrounds, it's no problem to call somebody stupid. I know 30 other words that could be replaced with stupid. If you feel the need to call me that, then if it bothers me, then it is what it is. But it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all. But I just know in the community, there's going to be some people that are bothered by it. There's always going to be one or two, and those are the ones that we warn you about. It's like, hey, watch out with that word. There's going to be one or two people that's going to get upset when you say it. So doesn't mean that everybody's upset by it, but there's always going to be one or two. So it's just a heads up warning. Like, hey, some words, I'm pretty sure, like, if I go to the DR, there's some certain words you're not. Like, Spro. Spro was his name, yeah. It's just certain shit you can't do. For me, it was like in the DR, don't wear camo. It's not the same, but it's the same. You'd be like, why can't I wear camo? It's just camo. Or you just don't wear it. Sydney Charles, no more politics, please. No, we're gonna, like I said, man, I'm not gonna censor nobody. You know, I'm not gonna shy away from having conversations that I think, um, where else you gonna talk about it? Where else can you just have a regular conversation about politics? You know, you could disagree in the comment section, or you could come up and have your voice be heard. I'd rather you come up and have your voice be heard. If you don't like what the person on the panel is saying, you know, or you can just hear it from mainstream media. You know. But like I said, I've never professed to be a political scientist or anything like that. I want to study, and I don't want to study politics. I don't want to be a politician at all. You know, Blizzard, yeah, Blizzard sniffling like a damn. He said, sniffling. Hope you feel better, Blizz. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Pouring for the answers is the African. Am I gonna be able to catch up on this chat? I don't know. When it's too harsh, prove it wrong. I'm not into prove anything. Yo, they having a conversation. Do you believe that fat meat is greasy? Yes. Yeah, Sydney Shaw. He ain't getting rich. Say the name. There's some occasional dad votes. Yes, there are. Cisco, who don't fuck with you? I know a few. That's it. Only like one or two. I'm always trying to change mine straight up. Not me. Not me. I'm not gonna try to force anybody. I'm not gonna force my opinion on you. I'm gonna say what it is. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say my opinion. I'm gonna say how I feel. If you agree, you agree. If not, you don't. Like that's it for me. It's never like, well, you gotta see it not this way or think about it this way. No. It's for me, it's like, hey guys, this is the information I know. This is the way I feel about it. This, and that. All right, thank you. Like that's how I rock. That's how I get down, man. Yeah, salute. One day I get to nerve says, Mars, never watched IC live stream. IC does an amazing live stream, man. So you gotta check it out one day, T Marsh. It's definitely not gonna be what you think. You say you can't T Marsh. Oh man. So you can't follow the logic behind. Nah, I know why you can't. Yeah, girlfriend was like, who you watching? I know. But it's always certain words. It's always certain words that somebody's gonna be bothered by, and you don't have to care about them. You don't have to. It's people sensitive, man. Like you can't say the R word up here. You can't say the R word. You can't say PDF files. You can't say the other word for little hat. You can't say just a lot of shit, man. Like and it's getting more and more and more. I try to avoid calling people names, but sometimes it shoot fits. I won't base my argument around personal attacks. I know that. Nope, I understand it completely. Okay, some people hate me. You can't please everyone. Nah, you should try to check out Icy live streaming. She does a good live stream, man. Says she talks about real shit. She's funny, laughs, sings a little bit. I like it. It keeps me entertained and interacting. and you're gonna learn something, little something. I know a lot of us think we know everything, but we all can learn something. MKQ are two that I got nothing for them, just trash human beings. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm getting to that point. And it takes me a minute to get to that point with some people, man. It really does. But um I got asked, do I believe, damn, what was the word, man? I'm bucking out. I think I'm getting sleepy. Uh, not insufferable, not irrelevant. What's the word I'm looking for? Shit. I can't think of it, but basically, do I think people are beyond like being saved or something? And I'm like, yeah, I believe that. Uh, for me personally, it's beyond me giving a fuck. You know, not saying that they don't matter to the world. They may matter to the world, but they don't have to matter to me. And that's just where I'm at with certain people, man. I really don't care. You could come in here, you could say whatever you want. You're not gonna trigger me. You're not that important. Like, you're not funny. It's not even like you're not funny. You're not shocking. You're not original. You're not anything, man. I'm sorry. This is not Blizz being negative or anything. This is how I protect my peace. Like, you're not going to get to me, bro. Like, because you're not offering anything. Like, you know. That's why I believe no hurt feelings between you and Adam. You're both thoughts and like it, yeah. I'm just cool. I see the truth, can't say Russ. I don't get the taco sausage stuff. Different strokes for different folks. If you disrespect my wife because you're too brave, that's intelligently counter my points. You're done with me. I know they only did it online because they're cowards. Yeah. People are, it's like some people online, offline, they're the same. Online, offline, they're the same. But some people, they just take it overboard. It's like a whole nother persona, you know, a whole nother person. Like, I've never been that way. I'm not saying I'm exactly the same online and off. Because, you know, when you're streaming, you kind of like right now, I don't feel that good, but I'm gonna kind of, you know, try to perk up a little just because I know I got you guys in here, you know. In real life, I'm a very reserved person. If you ever meet me in real life, you ever like get to spend some time with me, you'll realize I'm a very reserved person. That part of me is true. Laid back, even killed, you know, even killed type of person, man. And I see everything down the middle in real life just like I do online. As much as I can. I never said I'm good at dealing with snowflakes and man child. A bunch of them out here. When I'm offline, I'm not at my computer. T-Mars just like sausage taco. But salute. I'm gonna get up out of here. Thank y'all again. 3 hours and almost 3.5 hours. That's enough for me. Salute. Like always, man. I hope I offer something that you guys could even appreciate a little bit tonight, man. I'm trying to get better. And I hope you guys see that. We're not done. We just getting started. You know, thank you, Cisco. Thank you, Icy, Russ, T Mars, of course. DC was in the building earlier. A bunch of people, AJ, TJ, I Love LaShawn, Spro, Super Trez was in the building earlier. Salute for the super chat from Super Trez, for the super chat from No Lindo. My dude, I work with him. And then AJ with the gifted membership. I didn't see who got the membership, but let me just do this over here. And I haven't done this in a while. Oh, man. Look at this, man. Oh, man. I said I was going to do this tonight. So I said I was going to give, and I was doing this earlier on, and nobody wanted the damn shirts. So I said, you know what? I got to go back to at least offering, giving the top fan a shirt. So No Lindo is gonna get a shirt of your choice. So I got to order it. At least he's right here, like in my city. So I just got to order it and give it to him. I'll let him pick it out. Maybe I even take a picture with him and upload it, man. Because he was actually on my stream when I did the Asian Food Festival. He was in there. He was there. So salute, No Lindo. And that's funny though. That's funny, but we gonna get up out of here, man. Thank y'all again. Y'all be hearing from me, seeing from me next week. If you a member, don't forget to check the videos. I'll be dropping one next week. I'll be dropping another video for the members, another music video for the members next week. A talk head video for regulars next week, and then we'll be back. I got something planned. I got a short trip planned, nothing crazy. It's inside the United States, so I'll try to take you guys with me on that trip next weekend. Other than that, man, thank y'all. I appreciate everybody here. I'll see y'all next time. Blizzard Abroad, I'm out. Let me end this.
Don't confuse a message for the man that was saying with it. Some lessons meant to heal, others to build. I ain't repenting shit. Now my scars are my armor, and I'm equipped with it. Pain taught me discipline, now I move different with it. They used to call me two guns, now I'm mentor to a sons. Taught them how to crawl, how to walk, and how to run. And I still sit and deliver, I ain't done. Legacy in motion, newest chapter just begun.